around the whole time. It actually would have been just perfect for me. But you move me all around, and I start when you're not expecting it because of it.
So I gotta tell you, here's something, Magic Man. You sent something. Welcome to the group me, by the way.
Yeah.
Last time we just had to really, we had to make sure the feeling, like, we did the Amazon try it before you buy it. We bought it. And now you're in the group me. I like what you sent in the group me tonight.
Yeah.
An underrated root vegetable.
Yes.
The old parsnip.
Yeah.
How do you doctor up you mashed your parsnips? How do you doctor those up?
Salt, pepper, and butter.
How much butter are we putting in the parsnips?
A whole stick.
Fucking let's go. I'm not a fat man.
I should be.
Parsnips are it got me excited. Magic Man had a big turkey dinner tonight, which, like I said,
are parsnips and turnips the same thing?
It's the same thing. I count them the same thing.
I
Like
honestly
a yam and a sweet potato.
Huh.
I mean, turnips I made turnips too. They're more white. I like the parsnips better.
Oh, getting racist here.
Interesting.
Well,
this is why we brought a guy from the South. Awesome.
I thought it was for the boiled peanuts, Buc-ee's, and Wawa's, but apparently it was for the white root vegetables.
We got a Wawa being built like 30 minutes away from the house. Can't wait.
You're about to have a new roommate then.
Yeah.
When you go into Wawa, like, how many times a day are you gonna have yourself a chocolate milk and maybe, like, I don't know, a chicken salad sandwich? Like, that would be multiple.
The Thanksgiving bowls when they're in season. Fuck. They're dangerous.
At the World Series, I got one. It took me till like the last day.
I got one a day at least.
Oh, sorry, some of us didn't have as much time as you. Like, I was going at 1 a.m. and picking up Dustin at White Rawlings.
Yes.
Fucking Wawa.
I came to meet you.
Yeah, you did. I know. It was just.
Yeah, it was.
You had yourself a night.
Made it all the way to White DiMarini.
We walked. Yeah, we walked over to White.
Yeah, because I had
and that was a long walk for me. Yeah.
I think I might have offered you a piggyback at one point, even.
I don't know, because I would have taken it. For sure.
You don't let yourself get that far gone very often, but it is always nice to see you let your hairs down a bit.
It was entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, you guys heard me, and that was bad.
What was that? That was after
the other teams.
That was after the championship game, right? Yeah, that was Saturday night.
Yeah, but before that, you saw a very mild version of what was happening.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Me and Moore were just screaming at people. It was good. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You get knocked out, you go yell at other teams, heckle them.
Get knocked out, knock yourself out with a couple of bags of beers, and have yourself a day.
Oh, the first thing I did was walk over and get the 4-pack.
That's for $50.
Yeah, 50 for 4 easy payments of $20. I got myself 2 bags of beer.
Yeah.
You too can have a land shark.
Those bags disappear so fast. You walk over and it's just gone. You don't know where they went.
Yeah, that's why whenever anyone's like, "Can I get you something?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can."
The old backpack trick works the best. The gas station in the backpack.
Yeah, stick them in the. Now, a couple of years ago, they used to like search your bag. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not anymore.
No, they don't search the bag anymore.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
because I'm like, I still. Yeah, they might be listening. That is true. Because I would like stuff them in with my cleats and shit, like just water, stuffing water in there, just so I didn't have to pay fucking $100 to stay hydrated during a softball game.
Put them right in your cup, and if they want it that bad, they gotta go. They gotta go for it.
I should have tried that when I was down at Worlds after the World Series. I should have just been like, "Hey, I'm going to broadcast, so I didn't have to pay the fucking $42 a day to get into."
They charged you every day.
Every day, like whatever, $8. Sorry, we're not. Sorry, not all of us are conference players. Having our sponsors take care of tickets.
You're making money off this podcast. That's why they can charge you.
We pay our own gate fee.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, What am I
I
getting?
know.
Oh,
I
here.
know.
Hey, coach, give me $8. Are you kidding me?
$8 is crazy though. To be completely honest, $8 is wild.
They charge
Get
the
it to play
baseball people like 12 though. I think the baseball parents are charged like 12.
What's it
Well, I'm
with
not
these,
bringing my
like,
parent. The
four-
kid's probably not being charged.
Right.
Why do they like these denominations of 4?
I don't know.
8, 12,
Makes
like.
sense.
Are we going to tip you the $3 extra, $2 extra? Fuck off.
For
The best-
four easy payments of $3, you could get in on a Tuesday to watch one game at White Marucci.
A couple of years ago, they charged every team an extra like $150, and everyone could come in. It didn't matter.
Fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you're a players should get in. Fuck it, you're paying for this
Get in.
shit. Yeah, just get in. Whatever. We're gonna buy $75 bags of beers. Like, why not?
So Dustin, my brother sent me a picture last week of Gardner Minshew and said he could be your twin.
Of who?
Gardner Minshew, the quarterback for the I don't know who's the Colts now, maybe.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
Colts
he's-
quarterback right now.
I'm gonna have to see a picture of this guy. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, ask and ye shall receive. How's our producer
give me a
doing back there? Is our producer working on it, or should I get it?
I can get it.
It's got to be the right picture though. It's got to be the same exact one he sent me because it looks just like him.
Okay, I'll just hope that my guess is correct.
All right, I was dying laughing.
Oh, Dustin, do you have sunglasses real quick?
Not down here now.
Fuck,
Darn.
man. If you took your goddamn hat off right now, take your hat off, D.
I'm gonna take the hat off.
Here,
Yeah, take that hat off. I got you.
I just sent it to you guys.
Look at this.
Oh wow!
Right there, that one. Yeah,
This
top
one here?
left. Top left.
The top left one. Okay.
Wow! Look at that, huh?
Oh my God! Look at those dead eyes of Gardner Minshew.
Dustin on the
Jesus
bump.
Dude,
Christ.
I wish I had a fucking crazy ass name like Gardner Minshew.
Like what?
Where-
Like how?
where
What
does
kind
that-
of
where does that
porn
come
is he
from?
working on right now? Like, I don't think it's like. I think he's part, which is something I've been seeing a lot of, which is wild, is like the step. I keep coming across like the stepmom, stepson, stepsister porn. It's just, I don't get it. That's why I stick to my hot wife subreddits. But Dustin, that could be it. That could be it for you right there, buddy.
Are you saying that I have a future in step porn?
Yeah, you're the stepmother.
Is that the roundabout way of saying this?
I mean, you and maybe you're
Gardner?
like Minshew's like fluff guy.
I don't think that's the job you want in porn.
Yeah,
Dustin, you just fluff
I think I'm
people, all
set.
right?
I think I'm all set with being a fluffer. Fun fact.
Yes.
No, just
Yeah. There's a place in Manchester, once a good sponsor of ours, who the bar manager.
Still a sponsor, I see.
Not of us though, but yeah, the manager we were told was a fluffer.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, not good for the people being fluffed.
Yeah.
Listen, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of a glory hole. You don't know who's on the other side, and you just let the anonymous sex happen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bring It. Oh, baby. We're going down to the dirty, dirty South tonight, boys and girls. Yes, we are. We've had some fucking weeks here lately. I don't know if something happened big back in October, but we're just going to ride that wave until the tsunami crashes and fucking the association just shuts us completely down. But I feel like our guest tonight's going to get shut down before we ever will. Hey, D-Money, what's happening tonight, baby? What you drinking?
Well, first of all, I am on Amazon trying to find a microphone that works because I'm set up with this little number.
I thought
here.
you were about to perform at the Snoo Arena tonight.
Yeah, well, under Gardner Minshew.
That's your helmet mic, I think.
Yeah, I'm calling the plays tonight.
Oh,
Yeah, tonight I got a Henniker flapjack, and then I stocked up here because the last few have been pretty long episodes, and who knows what's really going to happen. Had to go pee right before. I didn't have to go pee, but I made sure I did because we've been sitting for hours and hours the last few weeks. And then I got an RAR pulp American.
Oh, fucking let's go.
Yeah, So it says drink fresh because it's an IPA. It's an American IPA, but this was looks like it was canned back early July. So
Close enough.
Fresh-ish.
that's fresh, right?
All good things
Fresh.
happen in July. Hey, Coco, what juice box we got tonight?
So just open up a fresh pack of juicy juice. This is the berry version, and I even opened the wings up so that I could hold it. It's delicious. It's delicious.
Open the wings up, huh?
And as we continue to try to figure out the right nickname for Mike Snyder, Magic Man, are you drinking? I know you had that big turkey dinner. Are we going back with sweet tea? What do we got tonight, baby?
I got a little boozy iced tea. I tried it. The two-turn Tony lemonade with a hint of lime. We were at the gas station, and some guy had a 2 12-packs. I'm like, are those good? He said, yeah. So we got one.
Are you going to make obnoxious TikToks now, too?
Jiro, what do you got?
I've already killed flannel lined everything a spice winter ale from Beer Tree Brew in New York, and I'm on to Colorado. I got Weldworks. I don't know. I got a double IPA. I got an IPA. I've already had a couple scotches, had a mead. I'm having myself a night already. While we're talking about drinking, Evan, what the fuck you drinking?
Oh man, I just finished up dinner. So I'm sipping on an empty cup of Sprite right now. Nothing major, nothing cool like you guys.
Evan, it's been a pleasure
on
having you on here tonight. We'll see you later. No, Evan, we got Evan Hardy here. You probably know him better from Softball Uncensored. Good old Georgia boy. Actually, before we dive into anything, I need the hard-hitting question here. We're going to lead it right away. Boiled peanuts.
Shit.
Where are you standing on them?
Boiled peanuts? I'm not a fan. I think they stink when you cook them. I don't like the taste of them. Not a fan. I think it's a texture thing for me.
I like them already.
They're soggy.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, I just I'm not big on finger foods. I mean, I'm big on foods. Don't get me wrong. I'm 6'3", 320 is somewhere in that area. But certain foods, man, I don't like to play with. I don't like to play with it, man.
Let's fucking go. Now we're getting some fucking weight on this podcast. Dude, Evan, you and I would completely fuck as a tag team partners going in after, I don't know, like fucking Undertaker and Kane. You and I could fuck with that.
What were the two guys? The two big guys, the Animal
Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom.
Yeah. Animal and Hawk. Animal and Hawk.
You got to be careful. I learned last week he doesn't bench much. That's what I learned in my watching last week's episode.
What you learned last week
low.
is somebody throwing out some false statements out there is what we learned last week. So
it's on the internet. If it's on the internet, it's true.
It's got to be true. Yeah, right.
Before
we do get started, I need to get with one of those Bring It hats. Those are pretty nice, man. I like that.
We only have 2 small and mediums left. We're gonna make some more. We're you know what, Evan? We're gonna make more.
Put them together. We get
order. We're gonna get them all across the country. We will put one aside for you.
I appreciate that.
Evan, what's going on now? You're a good old Georgia boy. You're in the Atlanta area. You've got a cute little softball page that has a little bit of information on it sometimes.
It does. I mean, so I guess to kind of give the history of it, I didn't just wake up one morning and go, let me just piss off the entire softball community the best way I can. But, originally I started it on my personal page, my personal Facebook. I would do Sunday recaps of like Saturday tournaments. And it was more so just because no one was really doing it. And directors would kind of give like a little recap, but no one was going live and, talking about like the events of the day. So it just kind of snowballed into, what it is now. And by no means did I ever think that, I'd have quote unquote, big names in there, the conference guys and all that. It really was just supposed to be a local thing. And like I said, it just kind of snowballed to what it's sort of becoming.
I mean, you're sitting, what were the numbers? I think like 7,000, give or take, member. Like it's an active Softball Uncensored is what we're talking about, in case you don't know it. But if you're watching this podcast, you definitely know Softball Uncensored. I was introduced to it last year when all the bat shit was going down. I had one of the guys around here send me you. I'm like, who the fuck is Evan Hardy?
Who the fuck is Evan Hardy, right? Who the fuck is this guy with bad tattoos, man? Who is this guy? What is he doing?
Oh,
We've all got bad tattoos.
Fuck bad tattoos. I got a fucking unicorn on a stripper pole here. But like, you know, and I'm like, I asked him, I'm like, who the fuck is this? And he didn't know, but he's like, just follow this page. There's a lot of good shit. And there is a lot of good shit on that page. It's a fun page. I feel like it's like early day Barstool. Like I'm thinking back to like Hockey Buzz, where there's a bunch of just random rumors back in the day. Like, and it's just a cool place where there's a lot of cool shit going on and a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, when it first started, again, you know, I have to shout out the people that I originally saw doing the I call, you know, the podcast or the streaming. You know, Rhino the Rep, he's probably spoken 2 words to me online, but you know, he was one of the first people I've seen interviewing conference players and things like that. And honestly, that wasn't a field I was really interested in because, I mean, let's be honest here, man. I'm about to be 40 years old. You know, conference wasn't on the vision board anytime soon. So, you know, I was like, let's focus on the local guys. I mean, local guys love to see their name mentioned and stats and just, you know, shit like that. And so I just, you know, I said, let's just focus on this. And then, you know, some things started popping up. And I mean, I'm sure I've pissed off some people with some of the things I've said and mentioned, but one thing that I can never not be is me, and I'm always going to speak the truth. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, I've never put out information that was false. I may have put out information that was not wanting to be released to the public, but I've never put out anything false. And for whatever reason, as crazy as this has become, there are people that send me information who I couldn't pick them out in a lineup. I mean, like there's a lot of people that just love to air out other people's dirty laundry. And I don't think there's too many people out there that are willing to, I don't want to say risk it all. I mean, at the end of the day, someone's going to hit me in the back of the head in the parking lot. I know it's coming, but I just, you know, I tread lightly. I actually do have a filter when it comes to this. You know, I try not to make it personal as long as it stays about softball in some form or fashion. That's the lane I try to stay in. But
I think we kind of fall in the same
just
type of thing, right? Like we fall in that same category at times, J-Ro. I mean, we hear stuff on live streams being said about us. You know what I mean? Like we just see in comments and whatnot, like we try to respect everybody in the game, but we're also there's gonna be some call outs, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
When they're deserved.
You know what? Well, the first time I heard some clapback, like bullshit back at us, being like, "Oh, fuck you guys." And I was like, it really fucking kind of like hit me. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like, shit, I don't want to piss people off. And then I kind of took that Howard Stern approach. I was like, "Oh, you're fucking listening though." Like, thank you, appreciate it. And then
that's when we were calling out rosters, right, out of New York.
Yep.
And tonight we've got someone from Georgia.
I can't. We're gonna get into
we can
Georgia
talk about
D's
and E's and how, you know, it's always the top 10 teams in D worlds is all Georgia teams.
Damn.
I also love the fact I've called myself. Listen, you're a big boy too, Evan Hardy.
You know,
but we've called ourselves everything under the goddamn sun. All right, I'm a fat fuck. Yeah. You're not going to tell me anything I've never said. I got called a fat queef. I have never been called a fat queef before, and I was like, shit, that's good.
He cried.
You know, I don't know if your audience all completely knows what a queef is, but that's impressive to call you a fat queef. There's some people like maybe. I'm just looking at the panel. We look like we have a good age range here. I feel like everyone here knows what a queef is, big or small. So
Evan, you were sitting backstage when we were talking about fucking glory holes. Do you think we did probably a solid half hour on dragon dildos one off season?
Listen, man,
I think that was early this season.
I interviewed a trans softball player last week. So, there are, again, there's, I when I was backstage, I was like, I wonder if they're going to let me cuss on here. And then I was listening to the glory hole thing. I was like, oh, no, it's wide open on this bitch. So,
yeah.
Water's fine.
I haven't seen like that's impressive. That was, I mean, whatever. We're all in there. I love, like, when I called the World Series, I saw somebody post a Softball Uncensored being like, this is great. I saw John King's post it, and I saw it in Softball Uncensored. I'm like, this is fucking cool. Like, I've got the two. I look at you as like one of the biggest softball entities on the social media, and I'm like, this is pretty fucking cool. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, look at what you have going on there. You're in a lawsuit. Like,
we're trying. We want to be like you at this point.
We are also
around here, man.
Yeah, we could be in a lawsuit if we wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got a good lawyer. We could team up.
Yeah, I heard you guys were filming U-Trip games or something like that, or something.
Just doing,
allegedly.
Allegedly, we were commenting over some type of video and just doing play-by-play and having some fun with it. Allegedly, I don't know. You probably can't find them anywhere.
6 other guys do too.
Yeah, but we were good.
Magic Man, you were never there.
Love it.
But that interview with Jamie last week.
We're
talking about the interview last week with Jamie Neal, who plays women's softball, who is a trans woman. I have not had the chance to listen to it. I'm going to Germany this weekend, and I am going to listen to it on the flight. I cannot fucking wait. It's a conversation I've had many times with a lot of women on the women's side, and really trying to get their opinion. I'm really looking forward to it. I've got it teed up and ready to go. So how did you feel going into it?
So Cinco, I'm sure you know who Cinco is. He's known for remaking songs, and I had to bring him on as a co-host because he was, we talked about it days leading up to it. Like, I had already had it planned, and so being the age that I am now, there's no way would I envision myself, first of all, sitting down and having a logical or a conversation with someone of this status, whether it be about softball or in general. But I knew that it would make good content, and I knew that I wanted to provide a pedestal for her, for all intents and purposes, her to say what she's probably been wanting to say in front of people anyways. And it was in softball. I mean, it's an actual thing. So I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And when you watch it, the first few minutes going into it, when it's everything that I thought it was going to be. Like, when she started talking and her voice was as deep as mine, I couldn't hold it together. I mean, that's just how my humor is. I couldn't, and we laughed through it. We got through it, but we ended up getting into some actual questions. And I think the comment section, which I'm still going to name my comment section something. I don't know what I'm going to name them, but those people in there, the followers of that group, they are ruthless in that comment section. I mean, they give it to any and everybody. They don't give a fuck.
And we're still trying to figure it out too. We're going with I'm leaning into the idiots like who watch us and follow us. Like, like I'm thinking like the bonfire in Sirius has like the campers. I'm like, they're idiots, the idiots. But I don't know if it works.
They are ruthless, and I mean,
you guys are tough there.
That's kind of I wish I could even take credit for the name. I actually got the name of the group from one of the coaches down here, named JT Thompson, coached a D team. I said, man, I need a cool name for this group. And he was like, man, because they know me, like I talk shit with everybody. Like I'm not, what you see is what you get. If how you see me talking online and talking to you is the same person you'll see at the field. And he was like, man, just Softball Uncensored, man. And I was like, perfect. And I was like, can you sign this for me so you never fucking try to get anything? But no, man, it was perfect. And it just kind of flowed, But I did want to comment on something that I actually caught one of your podcasts a while back. I know this kind of transitioning away from the Jamie Neal thing. But I wanted to speak about this. How much money do you make? And I know the answer to this. How much money do you make doing your podcast?
We make about the same amount of money as you make right now, because I'm sure you're making about the same money we are. You want to talk about profitability of a podcast? Some people in the softball world think because we talk softball and it's softball that we're fucking Joe Rogan. They probably think you're fucking Barstool.
Oh my god!
What? No.
Well, you did.
Well, I'm working. I just worked until 6:30 tonight doing my fucking real job. You think if I was making $35,000 doing this, I would fucking be working a real job?
It's because I put
this.
I'd be so much fatter if I was making $30,000-$40,000. That would not be.
The Venmo doesn't actually bring you to anything.
Yeah, the Venmo is there, and basically all I've said is buy J-Ro some beer. He drinks a lot of the beer on this podcast while he should be working or during the work day. So just buy him a 4-pack, buy him a 6-pack, right? So
that was kind of my point. I want to, before the end of this interview and the end of the night of this, I want people to understand that when you see the Rhino reps, you see the John Kings, you see the Bring It's, the Softball Uncensored, like we're doing it for, first of all, the love of softball. I mean, I think we all love the game of softball. And for me, I think it is just a way for us to get through our shitty jobs or our daily routines, and we can make, get the transition to Saturday a lot easier. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a flamboyant fuck, and I need a creative outlet. So I get to come on here, and I've told my family, I'm like, don't you ever fucking talk, or don't ever listen to this shit. I talked to my sister this summer. She was like, why was your shirt off on a podcast? It was one of our 4 Instagrams we've made. And I was like, oh shit, it was a good Marry Fuck Kill. Did you get to the end where I was talking about jerking off? She's like, Jesus Christ, why are you talking about jerking off on a podcast? Like, right. Don't ever fucking listen.
It's because softball people are a very unique group of people, and we can be unique here.
Pretty fucked
It's
up.
a cult for sure. It's a cult.
But you're right. Like, you manage, you've got Softball Uncensored, like, you've got heat on you. I mean, my heart dropped with a cease and desist letter. I can't imagine being named in a lawsuit. John King, he's built some big shit. Rhino, he's fucked. Like, those guys are all over the place.
They figured out how to make money off of their shit.
I would love to be those two. They're fucking awesome. I love what those guys do. I would love to be them. Would you? Right. Like, would you make, if you could make money off softball, would you?
100%. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't gotten a couple of perks along the way. I mean, but to sit here and say that we're just cashing checks over here is, I'm not getting free bats like that. I'm not, going to the ATM, just, cashing uncensored checks here. And it's ridiculous, man. Like, I literally do this for free, volunteer work, just for entertainment purposes. I was an only child, man. The mirror was my best friend, So
I wasn't, and it's still my best friend. Well, like, we do merch, like, right? Like, we did those free Bring It shirts. Yeah. You know what that shit is? I flew down to do that World Series. I paid for everything on my pocket. I stayed with Dustin. He was down there at C's. Those free Bring It shirts essentially covered my travel down to Florida. Like, all this shit does is it covers expenses. We have hosting and, the streaming and, when I fucking travel, like, I mean, shit, your travel's a little more when you guys go play because you guys got to drive like 4 or 5 hours everywhere, like outside of your hub, right? Here, I mean, you're Atlanta. Right. People come to you guys, right?
Right. Yeah.
Valdosta is not a fun place to go.
That wasn't bad for me.
It's cold, It's cold. Cold. I did play in the Mojo 2 years ago, and that is some of the most.
That was a brutal one too.
I don't know. First of all, let me say I think everybody should do it. at least
Bingo.
once.
Mhm.
If you do it twice, you're a fucking idiot. But once for sure.
Yes, that is
That was
exactly it.
2 years ago is when it was like 30 degrees and snowing and windy the whole time.
Mhm.
Yeah,
we,
so
we were
had
undefeated
flights
till
early.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made it to Sunday, and then we were like, some guys have flights early. We're just gonna fly back. And I'm looking at the Mojo stream, and I'm like, guys, there's snow on the field. We made the right decision. We just left.
Yeah.
True story here. Let me give you my our magic moment here for Mojo. Going into it, coming from the South, I'd be lying if I didn't say that we feel like we're the strength of where softball is. Like we feel like like you said, worlds comes through the South first. The same D teams winning the worlds, all that shit. So they were like, we're gonna go to the Mojo. And no one really. I feel like anybody who's ever said it's cold at the Mojo has failed at their attempt in explaining what the fuck cold is, because that's like the Mojo should be changed to like the Gauntlet, because like when I first got there, I was in my short sleeve shirt. Like it was about 65 and a little windy, and I was like, oh, this isn't bad. And then every fucking hour into the day and into the next day, it just got colder and colder. So we ended up coming up with this thing where we knew it was cold. If you say it's cold, I wanted to slap you because we knew it was cold. But we ended up playing. We took our hoodies off. We had hoodies, and we would play just in our short sleeve shirts, like our mind fuck against the other team, like hoodies off, take them off. We're fucking jumping around trying to get the blood flowing. I did that shit on Sunday. I'm almost positive I got frostbite.
A little hypothermia.
Doesn't sound worth it.
100%.
Yeah, it was windy too that whole weekend. It like you said, it was gross that whole time.
I don't know what you guys are bitching about. It was fucking beautiful here in the Bring It studio, broadcasting those games on live.
I was warm.
I was there this year though, and we had Evan. It started off at like 70. It got down to 40. It was windy as fuck. We had hail. Like you name a weather, we had it.
If that tournament was in May, it would be the best tournament around.
Mm-hmm.
If it was 50,
and you
50
see
to
those
60 degrees.
You see those comments all the time, like, "Oh, you need to do this in the spring," but it's almost created its own reputation that this is what you're signing up for, and it's not. I mean, again, you got to take my word for it, but it is fucking freezing in that bitch come Sunday.
Yeah.
It's I do love that all the bats get tested, all this shit, but man, like even for us guys up north, it's fucking because Magic Man, you're back in Connecticut, right? You're living in Connecticut these days?
Living in Connecticut.
No,
Back in
Connecticut,
right?
Heard that.
I already got denied. I already got the
all right. So anyway, but even for us, three up in New England and New Hampshire, it's fucking cold when we go out there to try and play ball.
Yeah.
And they test your bats right before you break them. So that's good. You know that they're passing compression, so that you go out there and hit some rocks in 30-degree weather.
By the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a question. It's the same fucking time. I was just looking at it yesterday. The Trip Roth in Louisiana. You played in it? Have you played in there?
Never been.
Really?
Only parts of Louisiana. It's in Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've been
Jesus
to
Christ, my fucking Southern family's coming out of me. I just gave you a yes, sir, and you're fucking younger than me.
Yeah, you've been getting a lot of accent going this episode already.
It's the gray hairs coming in, man. I've been getting that a lot lately.
I just shaved my beard a little too much because my beard trimmer guard went fucking down because it might have thought it was my balls because it looked like just like a fucking scrotum pubescent beard. It was awful. Anyway,
you can't. When you're this size, you got to make sure that thing is snug. Otherwise, you're gonna show that double chin.
I'm going to see my fucking parents in Germany next week. I'm like, shit. My mom's like, oh, I'm so happy to hear that you're not drinking as much as you were. And I was like, well, no, fine.
What?
She definitely doesn't watch
Tuesdays.
Yeah, I'm like, well, yeah, it's just, I know I'm fat, but my mental health is great. Just wanted to kind of change some things up. I'm like, shit. He's like, I really like you with that short hair. So I'm going to go see Olga on Thursday.
Nice.
My mother's still, I'm 42. My mother's still,
in charge.
like what good mama should. Anyway.
That's right.
Sorry. I thought you would have played down there. I mean, I know it's not next door, but Being a good.
No, I haven't. I've been to New Orleans for Mardi Gras. That was actually 10 years ago, almost in 2 months to the day, because I celebrated my 30th down there. Far better than any softball tournament, that's for damn sure. But no, I mean, as I've gotten older, I didn't start playing softball till I was 30, and I still play it, to this day. And I now have put a limit on my radius of willing to drive to tournaments. I'm usually,
how far is that for you? Like Atlanta to like New Orleans, how far is that?
About 6 hours.
It's not bad. Okay, that's easy.
That's fucking terrible.
What's your
what
limit?
Are you talking about?
Yeah, I like Evan more and more as this time is going through. He doesn't drive.
Listen,
he's not drinking today with
you're
me.
tough at
This
30
is great.
minutes.
Absolutely, I hate driving.
Yeah, I mean, there are some tournaments with reputation, which is why we drove to the Mojo. I drove to the Mojo. It was 8 hours. Which, by the way, when you get to Cincinnati, you're like, damn, I'm getting close. You still got 4 more hours of driving. But, for me at this point, the only tournaments that I really want to drive to would be Worlds, because it's like Vieira is about a 7-hour drive for us. We got PCB where WSL Worlds is. It's about 4 hours. But just packing up and driving 6 hours, I just can't get motivated like I used to be.
6 hours ain't fucking shit, man.
No, it's tough.
Fuck off.
4 or 5 hours max. It's tough, man.
Well, here's the
There's
other thing.
Connecticut in you soft bastard. We're soft, right?
Is
that why?
I do pest control for a living, so I literally drive all day long.
You're just driving all day, yeah.
Yeah, so when I get home, the last thing I want to do is hop back in a truck and go drive somewhere. So, I mean, if we have the team to do it and I feel like confident enough to do it, maybe I would consider it. I'm not saying that we don't, but I mean, you got to be showing me something before we make a 6-hour trip. We got to be showing like some wins or something before we just go, fuck it, let's go to Louisiana.
Jesus Christ, good for you.
When is that tournament? It's in spring,
March.
isn't it?
March.
No, it's March 13th. Like I was just looking at it.
But it's cold
It's
there.
probably still be cool. Should be good weather.
Shut the fuck up. It's going to be cold. You've
It
been
is.
to
You
Florida. You've been in Florida for
Cool.
4 months, and you're like, oh, it's going to be cold in
I
Louisiana.
bet it's still in the 40s, 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta
Oh no!
if it was 50 degrees today, I'd be in fucking shorts. And you're like, oh, it was fucking chilly today when I was delivering mail. It's fucking 50 degrees out.
I got a
you go.
degree
You're the
cap.
fucking mailman.
I got a degree cap. If it's not consistently over 50 degrees, man, I'm not comfortable playing softball.
Yeah, we played last Friday night, and guys were like, "This is cold." It was fucking 55 degrees. I'm like, "You guys are."
I can do
pussies."
that. I can do that. But when it starts getting into those 40s and 30s, I'm like, man, fuck this.
Yeah.
A quarter of our season.
Yeah, right.
I know I'm preaching to the choir. That's all you guys playing is cold weather and shit up there.
All right, so Lord Taser, what
you motherfucker, you. Oh, you motherfucker. Okay. All right. That's where we're going. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it is where we're going. Listen, like we just have some fun here, and listen, I take the easy shots. I'm the happy, jolly, fat fuck on the show.
All
Dusty's
good.
a smoky bastard. Coco's the mute.
I
The
do get
mailman
pretty
is a new
salty
one.
at times.
What? I gotta ask you, how many
All right.
people you got in your fucking ear, man? Like you have the
And
hot,
and
good
who are they?
shit. Yeah,
And-
journalistic integrity here. We're a podcast. We don't even asking people
yeah,
the same thing.
I always say I have a source. My source is saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
and when you put it in the group chat, I have a source. I know who it is, but
I'll
you
be
got
honest.
people in your ear.
Yeah, 100%. And honestly, contrary to what a lot of people believe, at least locally, they assume that it's the people that live here that are in that circle who's feeding me information. But honestly, I've had people that I've never spoke to a day in my life send me information. I fact check it. No, I don't just take it and run with it. Like I'll go, hey, what have you heard about this? I'll bounce it off other sources and be like, oh yeah, let me talk to. I'll never reveal, who's told me stuff. To kind of piggyback off the lawsuit thing, they were Suncoast, or I guess you can call it what's the damn NFT Labs or whatever the fuck it was that was making the bats, was They were essentially wanting to get access to my electronic data.
What?
Yeah, they were trying to get a judge to approve to get access to DMs, texts, and all that to see, because what was happening was there were people who were giving me information on things that they've signed NDAs on, secondhand, so they're like, how the fuck does this dude with terrible tattoos down in Georgia run this little page know this shit? And now there's a lot of things that I haven't released just because down here, a lot of the people, I'd say it's about 50-50. 50% care about what's actually going on in like the inside scoop of things. The other ones just want to fucking play softball. They don't care about any of the this or that. But I think the more information I've released and proven that I am not willing to out a source is why people feel comfortable telling me the things that they've told me. I usually try to make it a joke. Like, at no point do I want to, really like be personal and take personal shots at people. I try to make it edgy, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to personally attack people, but I mean, some of the things we've posted has been pretty wild. Like, we've done some wild shit in that group.
Dude, this Suncoast thing, I felt like I was on the toilet for 3 days reading the comments and then reading everything. It was wild.
It took you.
Yeah.
It only took you 3 days to read that. I thought it was going to be longer.
It was.
How long are your shits?
I'm saying, like, I couldn't get. I just sat in the toilet and kept reading. I didn't get up.
He dropped down to a B player after that. He had been sitting so long.
But it was. I mean, knowing some of the stuff that you were saying and some of the stuff that people were saying, it was interesting.
And everything lines up, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, he fact checks everything. So I mean,
I try to. I mean, it's like I think my biggest "I told you so" moment was when that list finally came out with all the banned bats on there, and I had been telling people this for months, and I just let it sit. They were like, "Oh, he's full of shit," He's like, and then I actually started thinking I was full of shit. I was like, "Man, where is this fucking banned bat list that I've heard?" And I would second guess, and then I'd be like, "No, that can't be because et cetera, et cetera." But when that fucking bat list came out and it was just a grocery list of bats on there, I had to go live. Just because I just wanted that was I've been trying to tell you motherfuckers that this was coming. And it really was coming from a place of, as these people are joining this group, it's not that I guess I kind of get joy out of, dropping news, but it's more so to protect our fellow softball members from making bad purchases. I was like, you're going to buy a bat that you're essentially not going to be able to use. And at some point, and they're like, nah, whatever, and here we are almost a year or two later.
The timing of that was just crazy.
Yeah.
The timing of them putting the ban out was just wild.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last week or the week before. He should have waited the season, right? Like, why do it like it was like right before
it was 2 weeks before Vegas. 2 weeks before
Vegas. Like that's awful.
I think it was. I mean, there was guys that didn't even have bats to swing in Vegas. They ended up having to swing other people's shit.
I think we went live after you dropped that hit. Like, you dropped the information, and then we went live the next day with like a quick hit because it was whatever day. I think it was like a Thursday that it hit, like a Wednesday night. So like Thursday, we did a quick hit of being like, holy fuck, Thursday morning. I remember that. Yeah. Because of based off of your shit.
And it was so crazy about like what bats were banned and what weren't banned. And then you're trying to figure out. It was nuts. It was crazy.
You're trying to connect the dots. Like, what does this fucking code mean to this bat? What bat is this, Speaking of which, I see the Anarchy sign back there.
Yep.
I said it earlier. I was like, they were definitely a bat that was in my ear that was going to get banned. And somehow
I heard the same. I'm not going to lie. I heard the same thing. But I don't know. I don't know any of the information. I heard the same thing after Worlds last year.
Now the mailman fucking
can't deliver the news now.
I was worried too. That it was us, Juno, Suncoast, Proton, They were all at Worlds. That was all the talk at Worlds last year, that all those bats were getting banned.
And then you guys, I mean, doing the $99 bat sales. Now looking back at it, I was like, "Fuck! I should have bought a shit ton of $99 bats." But that just looks so fishy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there were also other $99 sales.
Right, that was after
being so great.
That was right after Smash It did the $99 220. So I was getting a shit ton of heat. Like, oh, are they going to ban? I'm like, no, they're not. Yeah. We haven't heard anything about that.
If anybody wants Easton CXN for $100, let me know. I still got one in wrapper.
To kind of drive this on home, I do believe that a lot of the reps, Austin Dahl was one of them. He was in there, and right before that list dropped, he was one of the ones that said we are 100% not on that list, and then literally they were like 100% on that list. Yeah. I do think that some of the reps and even players may have been misinformed that from the higher ups, like, we're good. So, they probably they wanted to just keep selling bats. And that's just my personal opinion.
I think they might've thought that you could swing them now, but anything after this, we're going to have to redo. That's probably my thought and what those guys thought.
I mean, U-Trip with everything that goes on there. I mean, even, the everything, everybody's lawsuit happy, and so if there's any risk of, you see it from other associations too. Like, is whenever U-Trip makes a ruling on something, it's not soon after these other associations follow suit. They're like, oh shit, this person can get hurt, or this could, they end up, following right behind that. It may be a little bit longer, but they eventually, follow suit with that. But I think it just comes down to, it was a safety thing at first, but then I think it became a pissing contest, which is why there's a lawsuit going on now.
Yeah, I definitely think it was U-Trip trying to get some money out of Suncoast after they banned him.
Yeah,
the test results were originally 3 out of 5 passed, and then they had the magical 1 to make it 50%, right?
Allegedly.
50% fail rate, allegedly. That's the thing though. Like,
I don't want to join nothing.
Suncoast could have known their test results right off the bat, knowing, hey, 3 out of 5 passed. Nothing's happening to our bats. If they go out and tell their reps, hey, listen, half or more than half of our stock is going to be banned, those guys are either going to go try to find some other bat company. They're going to see the sales get impacted immediately. And that as a newer bat company, that's it's definitely affecting them for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even fully understand why the 240 stamp was even created. When you had, I could ask, it'd be unanimous if I asked you what's one of the hottest 220 bats ever made, would be the Easton Fireflexes.
Any Easton.
Easton towards the end.
Tell you what, that Fab Four Clark, the back and gold, still hits.
And if they're not testing, they go down to 160, and they're not even.
They're supposed to bust, and they're not busting.
Those lambs, those pows, those bams, those things were stupid.
All that. I'll put
my Juno final chapter. That's a 240. That thing might be better than my fucking my Clark,
And so that kind of goes back, not to shit on any companies right now, but that right there should tell you that if you have a 240 bat that is hotter than a 220 bat, something's wrong.
Which
I
think they are, man. I think the 240s are not hotter, if not better than the 220s.
So here's my question:
do this, Evan?
At this point in the game, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
okay, I was going to say, do you think it's the bat ball combo?
It's tough because Classic M's are pillows during the day. At nighttime, the Classic M ball was scary. Mm-hmm. When you essentially make a harder ball, a 44 core 375 ball with the Pro M, it could be a bat combo, because before 240s, Louisville was the absolute dog shit of bats. They were horrible. Mm-hmm. I didn't like any of the 220 Louisvilles. They were all terrible. And as soon as they became 240s, it was immediate. They were like really, really fucking good. Now, I think all the other companies have caught up to it. All the other companies have caught up. I actually put it down. I'm putting it down this year. I swung them for 2 years. They've been great, but the seams are just killing me.
Just
man.
gotta break
But,
it. It's tough.
You gotta break
it.
it. You gotta break it in the right way, and that totally.
I'm too old for foreplay, man. I can't be babying these bats.
Listen, when you get to our age and our size, you just gotta stick it in and get going.
Yeah, man. I just hope for the best, man. I'm not foreplaying with these bats, man.
Hey, hold on for 4 swings and have a day.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that now, I mean, like I said, Anarchy, the DeMarinis, even the Eastons now. I mean, the first Easton Fireflakes that came out 240 was dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, now now everything's kind of on par with each other, I would venture to say.
Yeah, the companies are they're figuring out the 240 technology, and everything's kind of evening out.
Or stealing other people's technology, but whatever.
Allegedly.
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 Give us the Softball Uncensored official. What is it?
Well, I mean, I didn't put it. I mean, Mark Carucci actually made a post about he was essentially calling people. Yeah, he was calling people out for stealing his technology basically. So that's not anything for me. He put that out there.
Mm-hmm. That was the word from the beginning with that tantrum. That was the word from the beginning when that bat came out.
Yeah,
even before
I just bought one today, by the way.
Yeah, my brother got it to you, right?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say what he charged me for, but someone came in my inbox $30 cheaper, and I was like, I'm gonna let him get a sale. I'm gonna let him get a sale. But again, no perks to this.
What the fuck is going on? Why? Like, what the fuck? Where are the idiots helping us out?
Right.
What the fuck?
You didn't. You just said it was Mark Carucci put a post up. I actually saw the post.
No, but
you guys read it.
Pretty bad. Than fucking Ryan Snyder's going to do it while Corey Perry's out here banging Connor Bedard's mom allegedly.
Allegedly.
Like, what the fuck? We just gotta come on.
Right.
Hard.
I mean, I tried to. I've met my deductible for pissing off conference people this year, so I'm kind of chilling out until 2024 with.
That's softball rep life right there.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
get somebody's name under it. Hey, but didn't you just do? Did I see a video on your page where? Sorry, we're not going 3 hours tonight, but I get a couple more bevs already. Did I see something on your page? You taking BP where you had 220s and 240s? Is that your page? Maybe a softball cartel. Sorry.
I haven't swung a 220. You're talking about Pete Swing Cartel. That's a dude locally here, Pete Lang, who's terrible.
Wait, he's another fucking Georgia guy?
Yeah. He looks like he should be selling
D Worlds.
No. Pete Lang is my dude, but he looks like he need to be asking, what gas pump you pulling up to, man. That's my dog, but he looks like he could be selling apparel out of Pakistan or something. But I don't know how. I mean, kudos to him. I mean, he's created a huge following.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, he's gotten some perks from it, and Pete will tell you. I mean, he'll know I say it to his face. Pete he's on a struggle bus when it comes to tournament softball. He's a little
struggle.
BP, we all look good, but I mean, Pete's about 6'4", about 280, and he just likes to I don't know. I don't think he's ever really fully learned the game, man. But he's created a hell of a platform.
Is he anorexic?
No, he's pretty good, man. He's what we should be.
Like, come on, that's a skinny bastard.
That's
You're
talking
talking to somebody
that's
that's
pretty good.
6'2", 3. We'll call it. I'm 50 right now.
I feel like you're overusing that word. I don't think you know what that word means. 6'4", 280 is not very small.
That's
Compared
not small at all.
6'2", 350. No. That sounds small. I carry it all like a pregnant woman.
Yeah, Pete, he's created a hell of a platform. Again, he's trying to figure out where his niche is with it, trying to make some money on it and things like that, but it's we don't make any money off this shit.
Sometimes
Evan, what the fuck are we doing where other people are making money and we aren't?
Allegedly.
I don't know.
Not even allegedly.
I want to do some merch. I mean, I've had people, I've had companies reach out and say, hey, do you want to rep, some bats and shit, based on the following. But for me, I like being unbiased. I don't like having, because once I tie my hands to something, my credibility is it's shit at that point. So, go ahead.
That's the funny thing. You see these guys one year, this is the hottest bat. Next year, they're with a new company. The next year, they're with a new company. It's like your credibility was out 2 companies ago.
Yeah. I mean, some of these guys, you can give them a broomstick. It doesn't matter. But for me, I always try to be an honest opinion. And by no means am I the best player, but I'm fucking not the worst. And I feel like my opinion is fair. I've swung shitty bats. I'll tell you it's a shitty bat. If it's a good bat, I'll say, hey, man, you need to give this bat a try. But yeah, I mean, companies have reached out and say, hey, what do you think about, doing this? And then I'm like, nah, no thanks. Plus, I don't feel like answering that many DMs every day, more than I already fucking do. So
you're better than me because I tell you, I put everything, all the weights on Dustin now because it's my off season. My fucking phone is. I've got Facebook messages from people that I talk to during the year. And I take like a 3-month hiatus, and I'm just like, y'all can. I mean, mailman, you've even seen it. You, me, and Dustin are in that Facebook group, and I'm like, fuck it. Dustin and Snides are going. Let them fucking go. Because you do need a break. Like, we don't make money from this, people.
Softball shit talk never stops, though.
I was talking to somebody this morning.
Ending.
It was good.
It doesn't.
I actually got my dick hard. It was awesome.
So, Evan, do you think the Suncoasts are going to be unbanned?
Unbanned? Like the ban? You think like you're asking me are those bats going to be legit again?
Yeah.
Here's my thing. This is what I'm hearing is that there's supposedly a settlement in the works. If you are any type of intelligent, settlement usually means somebody's guilty. They just don't want to fucking deal with it anymore. I don't know if that settlement means that they're going to allow them back in or if they're just going to pay what the money lost and still keep them banned. I have no idea the details of it. But I have heard that there's talks of settlement between UTRIP and NFT Labs or whatever the fuck it is. My personal opinion, do I think they'll ever be unbanned? No. Wow. I think they'll always be. That's just my opinion. It's 50-50 on this. I think that.
Yeah.
I love how you talk in like I'm opinion. This is just my opinion. Allegedly, like I love your vocabulary.
But yeah. I mean that makes sense. Like UTRIP's not going to go back and say these are unbanned because what kind of precedent is that going to set, right? They're going to pay the whatever company it is, their company the money, and they're going to say, okay, this is what you got to do. Because honestly, like, is 3 out of 6 pass and fail? Like, is that where does that fall? You know what I mean? Is it good? Is it bad? It's a weird thing to only go off of an even number of tests. That makes no sense. So, but I mean,
go ahead.
Well, also, bats have been banned for years, long before we started playing. Yeah. Bats have been banned. I don't understand why there's so much heat on this particular situation.
So I think it's because like a bat would get banned. Like the DeMarini cartel,
right?
The Louisville. What was the Louisville one?
The
voltage, and there would be one-offs, right? There wasn't like this like absolute laundry list of bats to just get wiped from the market, and especially and a lot of them coming from the newer companies that were into the bat game, around 5 years or whatever.
So this Joseph guy is in the comments asking, will Suncoast honor their warranties? Last week, Farhar was on here, and he said Suncoast will honor the warranties from the day that they were banned. That's what that's what they say.
We've talked about that too in the group. I mean, if you have a bat that's no longer, I mean, it's a paperweight. As a consumer, no matter if it's a bat or a fucking toaster, if I bought something and it doesn't work, bitch, I want my money back or in exchange for something. I think that, Suncoast has a very good support system for their fast pitch bats, which also got banned and they fixed. People forget that as much as we love slow pitch, we are a drop in the bucket when it comes to fast pitch softball. Yep. Girls, all that shit. So for them to be able to return everyone's bat and give them, a new version, maybe, but I think there's going to be some reading between the lines, some, your bat has to be this, that, because you might have guys that just go take it up against the pole, bust it and get a new bat. And then I saw somebody comment and say, well, you can't do that. Well, how the fuck are you going to know?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to know how it busted? So
I think the ones in the wrapper are going to be no problem. It's going to be the ones that people have swung and are swinging in outlaw tournaments and leagues that are going to be the problem.
Here's the thing, Evan Hardy, we know her. Well, the three of us, mailman, you were there too, so the mailman knows. We know softball is a niche community. You know how we know we are such a fucking little drop in the bucket, niche little fucking shit stain community? Last year at the New England USSSA Hall of Fame induction dinner, we had a room for, a nice little ballroom. It was lovely for the dinner, for the umpiring clinic for a day. There was another convention going on at the same hotel that was fucking role playing. Like, fucking
LARPing. Not fucking while they role play.
It was
LARPing.
They might have been fucking and role playing.
LARPing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
about
what.
5% of the community knows what LARPing is, by the way.
Why they're role playing? Let me tell you what. That convention blew us out of the fucking water.
They had multiple rooms.
Fuck.
Yeah, they had multiple rooms. They were all dressed up as different crazy. I saw a dinosaur, which was weird for LARPing. And then they had like little arenas or whatever that they would go and do their LARPing shit. And it was a good time.
Yeah. You're a good guest for us. That's always gonna be the one that got away. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, like, I know, like, Kyle Pearson's making, a couple bucks, but that LARPing shit is big money, I think. We might change after the
never... No, that's not big money. That's computer nerds.
Are they all virgins? Man. No, they fuck.
Listen, I used to throw some dice in my early days, man, on the little D&D and the little Dungeons and Dragons back in the day.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, Lord Tazar.
No, man, we're going to leave now.
Lord
Because I tell you what, Evan Hardy, you and Money and Coco are going to be able to talk about all of this fucking shit for a while.
Magic the Gathering, way in. I could jump right into a Magic game.
Heroes of Might and Magic. Come on. Oh, man. Yeah, I threw up there. I was a nerd.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Evan Hardy, here's a question for you. Got a couple of them throughout the day. And only because you're well tied into the non-LARPing community, the softball community. I had this question brought up to me. We're you know what? Fuck it. We're going here quick. The South is a fucking Wild West. We think New York and the Northeast is the Wild West. Essentially, y'all can do whatever the fuck you want down there. I know Georgia. I know Florida. Y'all got ball players down there. I don't fucking question that. I also know like a D player down in Georgia. A good D player can come up here. They're going to be a C player. C player down in Georgia, for the most part, can play up. Like you're probably all a level ahead. It's just amazing when you have fucking Florida teams, you have Georgia teams, always at the end of the day, winning shit, and nobody bats an eye, except for everybody that calls y'all sandbaggers. But the question here is the elite tag. The elite tag. I like the elite tag. I like how One Nation does the elite tag. I like how One Nation does elite tag where there's no drop downs. You can only play in that, but there's no limit on the elite players. I don't think that's a problem. I don't think there should be an elite tag C and higher. C elite should be your elite tag and everybody else should be up. Where do you fall in the elite tag? Are you hearing any potential rulings on said elite tag going forward? So let's say hypothetically you get bumped from a E team to a D team to a C team. You have to play C unless you're reclassed. You're going to be elite. Thoughts? Go.
That is 1,000% supposed to be implemented in for the 2024 season for U-Trip. Down here we have competing associations, so it's a little, here. Kind of answer your question in parts here. Personally, I love the elite tag. I think that I come from a background, believe it or not, I actually played basketball when I grew up. I played when I wasn't throwing dice, I was shooting hoops.
Fucking point guard back in the day, and then COVID hit.
Small forward, man.
What's up?
I'm not
going
to toot my own horn, but I can shoot it a little bit. But the difference between softball and basketball is when I want to go play basketball for fun, you walk into a gym and whoever's there is who you fucking play. You either play with them or play against them. You call next or whatever. Softball is the only recreational sport that we play as grown men where we have to classify each other. Like someone has to strap up their shoes and tell their wife or their girlfriend that team in the other dugout has to spot us runs because we're too much of fags and too much of pussies to fucking play these teams 0-0. Like you're essentially saying that they're 100% better than you and we should be spotted runs. So the elite tag, for one, fixes that because you have in Georgia, we are definitely a sandbagging state, and that's just the God honest truth. There was a guy today that commented.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna.
No.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, but the I don't know if their minds, some of the guys' minds can't process how bumps work. Like once you elite tag everybody, it forces you to play up. Mm-hmm. So all these, we're C class, there's nowhere to play. Yeah, there is. You just can't play with the same people you want to and pick on all these fucking, bottom feeders down here over and over and over again. I honestly believe before I started playing softball, I used to hear the glory stories about, 200 something teams on a Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday tournament. And that was the norm. I mean, that was, you knew that's, but you didn't know who was coming. You didn't know who you were going to play. You just showed up and you played. And I feel like I got into softball right at the end of that.
You heard,
so I love the elite tag.
What a different world we live in. You heard 200 plus teams on a weekend. And this just goes, listen, I understand it's different communities because of the weather and everything else, but like you had 200 plus teams on a weekend. We were having 60, 70 team tournaments, which, we don't have those. Like how much, like weekend tournaments. Sorry, I know we're kind of jumping off, and I'm in favor with you. I love the elite tag. I just wish they would get rid of.
I think it's great.
You're in Georgia, so you guys don't have a limit on amount of elite players you can have, regardless. I love the elite tag because it's amazing.
I don't think it's in the I don't think it's in the rule book though.
Well, Georgia could have whatever.
Well, so real quick, WSL, which is a Southeastern association, you are allowed, not this past year, but the years before, they used to do a 3-point system. So let's just say I'm a D team. I could spend 3 points on 3 C players or a C plus player, which is a C elite, and another C plus player, which is C elite, which makes you 3. So you could essentially get 2 elite players or 3 just regular C players. So again, that's an off, I don't want to say off brand because they're pretty big down here, but that's not what U-Trip does. If you're an elite tag, you cannot play lower than the class that you're tagged in. So I think in essence, it can do nothing but help build the classes because at the end of the day, softball people are loyal to softball. They're not loyal to their ranking. They're going to want to play on Saturdays. So if that means you got to play D or C or whatever.
I think B elite should be the B elite and up. Anything lower, you can't have a B guy that just played A 2 years before playing C 2 years later. So putting them at B elite doesn't let them play C. You can't have an A, B elite guy playing C. You can't have that.
So you can't have Wally and Evan. You don't know Wally, but like you can't have Wally playing C next year.
It's tough with him because he only played 1 year of A.
I know.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean.
The thing is that Wally could step on
it.
He's in the same boat that I put Smalls in, right?
Correct.
I think they could both play C, and you wouldn't be like, holy shit, there's an A guy on their team.
Right.
Well, I mean, again, another thing down here in Georgia, like, and I appreciate every motherfucker that's in my group, and I love them all to death. These guys here want their name mentioned. They want to be seen in the lights. They want to be, glorified, and their skills, broadcasted to everybody. But when you tell them that they're getting bumped, they take offense to it. Being bumped is a compliment. Always is, always will be.
That's
if you're exactly.
What the fuck are you playing for if you're not trying to get fucking bumped?
Yeah, but the misconception is that I can't even say misconception. We haven't had a successful C class in Georgia for ever, as long as I've been playing.
Well, that's Eagle. That's Eagle
because they're all in D.
Exactly. They're all in D or E, So it's a system that needs to be fixed. And I've been preaching this long before the page. Like, as soon as I figured out the ins and outs of what, how this stuff works, it's like, I mean, come on, man. It's just more home run. If you got a pitcher that's willing to play it, no one else has room to complain.
The problem is, too, this is a big thing probably 5 to 6 years ago when U-Trip wasn't as technical as they were. You could have 4 different U-Trip profiles if you use 4 different fucking names. That was the biggest thing that people down south used to do. They used to have 4 different rankings because they use 4 different names.
I mean, everyone. There are people throughout the Northeast that do the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm. That was big, like 5-6 years ago.
Using their middle name or their maiden name, all that.
Yeah, so that's why I like the ASA tournaments. The ASA National is run the best, and I get that the scale of it is way smaller than a U-Trip tournament. But when you come into the ASA, you have to show your ID. You know what I mean? Like, you have to test your bat before you even step on the field. You know what I mean? Like, they know who's there and that all the bats are all at a level playing field.
Here's the other issue, though. I mean, we talk about bat testing all the time and how it's supposed to be better for the game. First of all, I understand both arguments. It's definitely an inconvenience for teams that have to travel to a one-day tournament and now have to travel to get there 2 hours earlier because they have to bat test. When if you go to U-Trip Worlds, they're not bat tested until Sunday.
Yeah, which is a joke. That's a joke.
Yeah. I mean, what's the point of talking about safety if you're not bat testing? Any WSL Worlds and PCB, you better get there before Friday to bat test. I mean, it's one of those things where it's a two-way street, but don't preach safety if you're not bat testing until Sunday.
Yeah, even if you're putting a sticker on the bat.
Exactly.
You don't have to bucket them. Put a sticker on the bat. It's that simple.
And I've heard some stories about stickers and Vaseline. I've heard a guy.
There's always going to be that.
Yeah, man. There's some cheating shit going on, man.
Evan Hardy. Let me tell you, Vaseline's better than just stickers.
No doubt. No doubt.
I had a box of Chablis back in college and a fucking canister of Vaseline, and oh my god, that
never left the dorm room, did you?
We threw wicker furniture around that evening. Oh, and we had a candle. It wasn't a sex safe candle, but oh boy, did we have ourselves a night.
How was the mattress that you stuck your dick between?
Her name was Candy.
I know it was.
Actually, her name really was, but we'll go there. No, but I'm with you. Like, I think so Evan Hardy, we're going with your full name. If you're going to be on the podcast,
it's my fault.
I hope you will.
When the nickname, I was like, what do I want to go with? I was like, let's just put my regular name. And I see all you guys had nicknames. Like, fuck, I dropped the ball.
We're still working on the mailman, but I think the mailman's sticking because I like it. The mailman's got a bat coming out pretty soon too. But Evan Hardy, all put together, and I wasn't doing it because of it's your moniker on the podcast here on the stream. It just feels good. It feels good. But when we meet in person, I'm going to be down in Georgia. I'm going to go see my boy in Duluth. We'll meet up. We'll have a beer. We'll hit some BP. and we'll have some fun, but we'll figure out the right nickname with, maybe me, you, Mikey Anderson, get a little BP session going, and we'll fuck around and find out what fits when you join the pod.
Sounds good.
Jared,
But
I'm in the drive-in. That's only 5 hours from me. I'll meet you.
Yeah,
guys.
a quick little fucking 2-hour BP session in Atlanta. We'll get Vinny back out there, and we'll tell him. I almost wore my smoke jersey. Speaking of sandbaggers, fuck. This is enough. So Evan Hardy, I have an issue here. Sometimes I start talking, I don't know where I'm going to go, or I get sidetracked.
Go for it, man. Hey, I'm here.
ADHD and beer situation. Christ. There's too many stories. There's too much shit going in my head. I take notes. We test bats. Here we go. I found it. Heck, I got my notebook. So we test bats in Mass. We test bats in Connecticut every tournament. Those guys started testing every tournament. Made a big difference. Well, Massachusetts was every tournament. Connecticut was most.
95%, I would say.
Yeah, and when I got Connecticut this year was a lot more than years past.
Well, you know why.
Didn't get to play this year.
Yes, I do know why we're not going there, even though we tried to bring that one person on the podcast to talk about it. But lawsuits pending. But when I get down to Worlds, I'm a D guy. I'm trying to play C next year. I want to play C because same thing. It's 5 home runs. It's a better fucking game. I like the C division a lot. Spread that word around down south. Hey, Florida, you don't need fucking A players on your D teams, you fucking twats. Anyway, the when you get down to Florida, man, I was playing D's. I don't care. I've said it on here plenty of times. I had 2 bats. None of them were touched. One just didn't pass compression. One did. They're completely different. But
you wouldn't know because they didn't test that weekend.
I'm never swinging a shade bat because
but if it doesn't pass compression, you don't know. But everyone else is swinging. If you're at
thanks, Dustin. I was taking a while there.
No, it's the truth.
If you're C or below, you're probably swinging a bat that's close to 200 or maybe slightly over, maybe slightly under. You're swinging the hottest bat you have, most likely.
Yeah. So is the question?
So they tell you not to.
There's no question. Sometimes we just fucking ramble. Evan Hardy. Evan Hardy.
I'm trying to find the question in that.
He's not even breathing right now. He's like, yes, come on.
Yeah.
Evan Hardy, ready? I'm 2 scotches deep. I've had a mead. I've had a 4-pack of beer. I've got 2 orange smashes from Devil's Backbone on deck. At this point of the podcast, I haven't taken a fucking edible.
Yeah. So one question I had with the page in general is, now it's Softball Uncensored. You said the comment section. I've seen it. I watched last week. It was a great interview on both sides. You know what I mean? Jamie can take it and give it, right?
Right.
And you guys were. It was a good flow. There was good. It was a good conversation. It was what people people wanted to see that. You know what I mean? Because it is one of the things that I've always wondered about in the softball world. It is a little bit of a difference, but she had the data to kind of back up what you guys were saying and saying kind of, sort of. I get it. But yeah, that's not where I'm going with this. Has there been anything on the page where it's been oh shit, this is getting a little too crazy? And how do you kind of skirt around those topics?
As far as getting too crazy, as far as the people and how they're
going at each other, because there's always the discourse of people you know what I mean, where shit kind of gets a little too crazy. Does it? You said earlier, I'm gonna get hit in the head outside of in the parking lot. You were joking, but these kind of things can spark on your page, and then now you're Saturday, and what, you know what I mean? Something's going on.
I've never had a situation. Again, I have to kind of backtrack a little bit, but originally the page was for getting local guys to understand who people were off the field. I interview them, ask them questions. This is who this guy is, and we talk about softball and just whatever. But so from the local standpoint, I've never had a situation where guys were ready to fight each other per se in real life. Now, in today's age, we do have a lot of people that will talk shit comfortably behind a keyboard and then see you on Saturday and act like they have like none of that happened. From a different generation standpoint, I've seen people where I'm like, you know, I can't speak in directly, but people have said things that I feel like are on that edge of like, bitch, I'll pull up on your ass. Like, what are we talking about right now? You know, and it's like, and by no means am I trying to be a tough guy. I mean, I'm just saying, and me specifically, but I've seen where people have argued back and forth, and then come Saturday, they're clapping hands at the end of the game. Good game, guys. Good game. Good game. So I don't know if people, and it's all interpretation of what the person's saying, but you know, I've never seen it get to a point where people are ready to, you know, fight in the bathroom.
Maybe your butt was on. I was going to say it sounds like you've been to a lot of BSC events. Yeah, sounds like that sounds like a BSC event. Which, hey, if any BSC events want us there, I fucking want to go. Okay, Evan Hardy, have you played? You played BSC?
I have early in my career, softball career. I have.
Oh, I've heard it's fucking amazing. I was talking to Amber Boyer, at Worlds. I was talking to Rip. Like anybody, I've talked to one of the guys around here, Ralph Triplett. Anybody I've talked to is like Jim Smith down in Maryland. They're like, yo, BSC is the fucking shit. You have to go to it,
bro. I mean, there's guys that are fucking a foot away from the batter talking shit the whole entire time. And they don't do anything. They don't say,
I can't pay for a trip to Chattanooga or Columbia. Somebody, $200. I'll fly the fuck down. I'll fucking figure it out.
It's crazy, man.
It's definitely a looser environment. It's you'll probably get high off of contact. You'll probably trip and fall on a beer can that might be, you know, right there walking in. It's definitely a looser environment, and they play, you know, and that's just how it is. It's literally like a party. They have a DJ, like you said. It definitely caters to the fun side of softball. It really, you know, it just depends on what kind of player you want to be. Like, do you want to go for fun?
Have fun playing softball?
Well, I have a. There's a line there. Like, yeah, I want to have fun, but I find it more fun to be competitive. Because the thing with the BSC events is it's an all weekend. So if you go 0-2 or you're winning, you're there all weekend regardless. So, I mean, I want to cut up and have fun with my boys,
have fun too. I'm being serious. Like Dustin and I are very different players on the field. I'm that guy. I'm a competitive fuck. But like, I'm a guy. I talk to fucking everybody. So if I have a quick pitcher, it sucks. But like, Dustin hates everybody on the field, still likes playing, but like, can't you be a fucking competitive twat waffle and still enjoy being at a tournament like that? Like, isn't that what this is at the same point?
I don't want to, knock the competition level. There's definitely some very good teams on the BSC side. They have a comp and a rec division. They actually have the divisions figured out, in my opinion. They work off of a point system, just like conference does. And for that, they got that figured out. The three others, a little bit racist, but whatever. But it's no, what I mean by it, I say that jokingly.
He's from Georgia. It's okay. He can say that.
But I mean, they definitely deserve, they want their own thing and they're going to run it the way they want to. And I think it's great. I mean, a lot of people, especially if you're an other, there are guys that think that, if they're one of the others on the team, that they were chosen, like this is a
privilege.
Yeah, exactly. A privilege. Like, oh shit, I'm one of the only four that they're allowed. So that I think is great. I mean, it kind of makes you want to be a better player on this side so that you can go play in that environment. But I will say, and my buddy Lowe will vouch for this all day long, sometimes players that play on this side are really good. They go to that side and they fucking freeze up. They can't handle that environment. They can't handle the shit talking, everything that comes with it.
But I was talking to somebody. I was talking to
There's my boy Jackson. It's 4. You're right.
It's
my bad.
4, not 3. I was talking. Who the fuck? I was talking to somebody, Mike Williams. I was talking to somebody at the World Series. And, Rip. I think it was
Georgia
Rip.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, fucking go figure. You fucking
he's playing out
shocking.
of he can't be
I'm surprised he's not playing fucking C-ball as a fucking Georgia guy playing conference.
I don't think Mike Williams is in Georgia anymore, but he was at one point.
I think he's in PA or Texas.
Ohio during the year, Florida off season. I don't know.
Yeah.
One of the fastest people you will see on a softball field. He's so fast.
Great fucking hair, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Love that. But I would love, I was talking to Rip. Rip was the one we were talking about, and he was telling me how it gets in. And then Jim Smith at the Firecracker. If Softball Uncensored and Bring It podcast, we ever made money, association. If you're fucking listening, if Softball Uncensored and Bring It podcast was making legit money, not just cover our expenses for streaming or a hotel here or there, but making, let's say, $1,000 a year. Okay. All I've heard about is BSC. Evan, we'll fucking fly you up. We'll bring you up to the Firecracker. You have to experience this Firecracker. But I
tried to get John Kings to come too. It's just
funny. It's really funny you bringing this up. I'll let you finish your point, and then I'll.
No. You've already heard how awful I am at asking questions and telling stories, especially at this time of night. Go.
I haven't. I've been kind of trying to find a way to not necessarily make money, quit your job, but there is definitely some opportunities that doing these podcasts has opened some doors. For example, I don't want to, again, John Kings is the GOAT. So when it comes to putting people and getting the recognition, there's nobody better right now. And I've tried to do that with local. So there are John King tournaments. He'll go to your tournament, he'll feature your tournament and things like that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he charges something. I just don't know what it is. I actually got offered last week. It's funny you bringing this up. There's an association called Play Local. It's in Tennessee. They want to do a Uncensored Winter Worlds in the next couple months, and have me come up and just kind of help them do their thing and make a couple dollars in with that. I don't know what all that's. We haven't done the finances yet, but there's opportunities to make a couple dollars with the merch and stuff, but by no means am I going to quit killing bugs on a daily basis with it.
I saw, was it last week that you did the post where you needed a guy and a guy came and you posted stats? Or was that the week before?
Yeah, but okay. So in the off season, which by the way, I need to preach this too. I don't think you should have classes. If you're doing backyard tournaments, let the big boys come play, let them have some fun. We were playing teams where we had to we created a B team and we had to spot. We're playing rec teams, E teams, D teams. We're spotting anywhere from 4 to 16 runs or 12 runs or whatever it was. But I was willing to give someone an opportunity to kind of show up and show out. I'd vouch for him. The problem is that the person that we had leaving potentially was the reason we were a B team. And the other person that was a EH or catcher was already hurt. So I would have essentially be down to 9 and putting my hopes in winning this little backyard deal with somebody who I don't know. So I ended up picking somebody who did want to play, but I already had a history with him and I know he'd do fine. And he hit so it worked out.
But that's cool. That's cool. If someone has the balls to do that and you're and say he goes there and hits fucking 700, 800, someone's going to pick him up.
Yeah, potentially. Georgia's only so big. I've seen a lot of these guys play also, but for example, I don't know if you saw who Rhett Burgess was that John King's, posted about not too recently, hitting off a tee, who's touching 107. That kid, we saw him last year, and the running joke was when he first put his own promo video out of himself, which of course I ate all over that thing. he in the comments and the caption said that, you know, he's looking to play up. He was putting all these home runs. He actually had a total count of his home runs that has hit in BP league ball.
That's
wait.
Evan Hardy, you're fucking struggling with this right now.
Listen, hold on. There's light at the end of the tunnel. There's light at the end of the tunnel. So
I don't
of course
see a
I'm
tunnel,
sitting here,
but okay.
I'm sitting here like, this is some bullshit here. So you know, I ate him up. I was like, you know, what do you got? Your old lady with a clicker every time you hit one? Like, what's going on? So,
editing's a hell of a shit.
Yeah. So I put a team in the offseason tournament. He's like, man, I'd really like to come out and play. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Come on, come play. I seen you hit home runs in your videos. I was like, you know, we could do that. The kid is a stud. It's kind of like when we all started playing softball. The only thing you wanted to do was just rear back and hit that motherfucker as far as you could do it. Like playing the game wasn't a thing. Like we didn't understand the strategy part of it. So he's now transitioned into a very, very solid hitter. You'll be seeing him, I think, on a B or even possibly an A team in the next couple of years if he learns how to catch a pop fly. But hitting wise, that dude is
that old chestnut.
Listen,
Evan Hardy, stop. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy, baby. Let me tell you that. I love playing the outfield. When I was under 300 pounds, I like to play the outfield. It's not that fucking hard to catch a goddamn fly ball.
One would think that's pretty easy. You just, you know, you take your fundamentals into it.
Left field's pretty easy, right?
That's where you hide your sorriest players, man.
Oh, I love that you're bringing that up because I forgot about it till just now. And holy shit, did you piss some motherfuckers off?
Listen, left field is the hardest place to play in the conference.
That's where you see all the knuckleballs.
That's where you see all the knuckleballs. That's where you see everything out there.
It's constantly knuckling at you in left field in the conference.
I will, you know, backtrack on that post and say, for conference, you're probably right. It's not the easiest position to hide a player. In C and below, when guys are trying to yoke it, it's usually just missed pop flies. There's not as much like I don't know how softball's played up north as far as like down here. Like a lot of the teams live backside. They love center and right field. Okay, so it's the same thing.
So C and below is all backside.
We just bitch about the Florida. We just bitch about playing Vieira nonstop.
Because no one can hit a line drive down the left field line. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, if you hit it, you're too good, it's gonna go. If you don't, you're out at you're hitting rolling over to third. So it's a dangerous game. But I was going back and forth. I think it was Scott Hartling who was debating me back and forth about semantics about what I was trying to say. And I'm like, look, man,
you hit a nerve.
I'm preaching about what I know. Like your right fielder has to be fast. He's got to be able to read a ball. He's got to have a good arm. The longest throw on the field is from right field to third. He's got to be able to track a ball down for our level. Now, the more I saw the videos and saw even Bradley Jones at the Majors World Series this year was making crazy plays in left field. So again, I understand what he's saying, but for local, I feel like you can hide a player a little easier at third base and left field.
You know what? Let's dive into this because you know what? I'm going to piss some people off. I'm with you. I'm feeling like Evan Hardy Jr.
You can hide a guy at third base. They hid me there last year.
Did you?
Mailman just went dark like he was trying to hide himself.
I was going to say, did the mailman get the "it's time for bed" called? We're not doing 3 hours tonight, mailman.
Yeah.
Evan Hardy, I'm here with you, and I'm not taking anything away from JoJo Bennett. I'm not taking anything away from
another Georgia boy, by the way.
Yeah, well, fucking shocking. Marcus Miller, with Rufex. Left fielders, I do see your point on this. Conference level are a little different, but especially at the conference level where these guys all fucking hustle nonstop. A lot of the people in the Northeast don't watch a lot of conference ball. We don't have events because y'all won't fucking travel here. Anyway, don't get me started there. Is it because we do? Is that a thought process? Because you see the left fielders try the hardest, continuously go for those balls up against the fence, regardless. But you think about those right fielders on the corner outfielder. Center fielders are fucking gross majority of the time. But the right fielder, you don't want to fucking run on him ever. Like a left fielder, right. Even my fat ass will fucking run on you. But a right fielder, I'm thinking twice. Like, is that what it is? Because you see a left fielder more?
You know, I mean, I you know, and the argument always comes to, you know, we're not sticking Evan in fucking left field. Of course not. But I look at the game from a coach's and a player's perspective. Like, you don't need a super strong arm to play left field. You don't need to be super fast to play left field. You just need to be able to read the ball. Your center fielder is, you know, has to be able to cover a lot of ground. Right fielder, again, with the arm situation, but and speed and everything else that goes with it. I just think left field, not discrediting. We all need a left. If we didn't need a left fielder, we play with 9 and say, fuck left field. Let's just run 2 outfielders. You need a left fielder. I'm just saying with that post that in a pinch, your left fielder goes down or your center, you know, you could move some players around and stick him. You can't stick anybody in center field. You can't stick anybody in right field or middleman or shortstop. That was my point. I'm not saying that the positions aren't important. They're all equally important. All position lives matter, you know, so
stop. The first baseman are the athletes of the infield.
Yeah. So here's the thing with your running, Jero. Ball is hit to left field. The ball's in front of you. You're either going because you know you got it, or you're not going. Most of the time, you're not going because it's in left field.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
If it's in right field, you think, oh, I got this, and then all of a sudden you get thrown out.
Well, you're more like, I mean, I'm a strong advocate for hitting behind the runners. You are more. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm struggling with my language now. You're more likely.
I'm rubbing off on you, Evan Hardy. I can't fucking.
I ain't even been drinking yet. I haven't even been drinking. If you're more likely to move runners base to base or even 2 bases by going backside. So if you hit the left field, which there isn't a lot of balls hit there. Again, furthering my argument that you can hide people over there, because there's too much risk. You got a runner on first and second, or even first, and you're trying to pull the ball down left field line. You fuck it up, you're hitting into double play. So a lot of players don't want to do that with less than 2 outs. If you're smart, that's why I feel like the left side of the field, you can kind of hide people over there. I mean, there's really no other reason than that. Just from a batter's point of view, I'm assuming that all batters are trying to play the game, which they're not, but most of the time they're trying to hit base runners.
Turf is a game changer too.
Oh yeah. I learned that too. I actually something about that. I mean, a lot of fields even here are starting to go to the turf. I used to like it. Like I really appreciated, you know, like, damn, dude, we no bad hops, none of that stuff. But now I kind of miss the dirt because you lose, you know, if you have a strong defensive team who are great in the dirt, they now kind of balance out a little bit when everybody's on the same playing field with that turf. So, I mean, your superstars are still going to be great, but I think you kind of, you know, uptick some of these other guys' ability because you don't get bad hops. Unless it's raining, then you're all fucked. But if it's wet, you're screwed.
Yeah, the turf has probably extended my career 5 years because I can't throw, so I can bounce the shit on the turf.
Yeah, they
bounce across the move.
Yeah,
I've seen players. This was I want to say maybe 2 years ago. They were. I also may or may not have commentated a USSSA subscription video on my personal TV at one point. Allegedly. May or may not. And so that was when a lot of people saw them bouncing the ball to first. And I guess it didn't register for a few people because I not even the next Saturday or 2 Saturdays later, I saw people trying to do that on the dirt. And it's like, you're an idiot. That's not how that works.
Yeah, that's softball, though.
How that works.
I mean, so as a pitcher, though, like anytime I'm playing on turf, I'm telling my infield, take 2 or 3 steps back, and if you're going to miss
they have the arm
miss
for
it
it.
low. Right, but even if they don't have the arm for it, you can throw it at the pitcher's mound, and it's going to skip there before the batter gets there because the ball's going to come at you harder than it is on dirt. It's going to skip off that, and it's going to come at you. You're going to be able to get 1 or 2 extra steps if you're playing a little bit deeper. And then if you have to, miss low. Always miss low on turf because the first baseman is going to be able to recover that throw.
Because your first basemen are athletes. That's
because they are the most athletic player on the field.
We don't have Ryan the Sniper Snyder over at third hitting their pitcher in the ass.
No, that wasn't me.
That's Ariel. That was your
Jay.
brother. That was Jay Ariel.
Like, I have that video.
You know what? How about you send it real quick? I'll put it up.
I gotta find it. It'll be a while. Give me 10 minutes.
I'll find it.
First basemen get a bad rap too. You know, a lot of people
not on this show.
Nope.
No, hold on, wait. Let me. I always put whenever I'm looking to pick up if my team's not playing or we're not putting a little star team in or whatever, superstar, whatever fuck you want to call it. But I'll go catcher, EH, emergency, first base. Okay. But if you ask any infielder growing up, they want a huge first baseman. They want a big target. How often do you catch the ball right here as a first baseman? Never.
What?
It's over here. It's down at your feet. Like, I can't be bending over. Don't blame that shit on me because you fucking can't throw it right. Like, this is my range, cuz. This is my range.
Stop it. See, and Evan, that's why we can't put you at first base because the first baseman, I'm 300 and something plus. Then it goes 3 and then higher than a 3. 3
to
something.
Be continued.
Yeah, 350-ish. We'll say that. And this motherfucker, we're going to be about 320 but at least we're going to be under 300 by the time next season comes. But I'm still doing splits. I ripped my groin so much playing baseball growing up and in college, playing college ball. Like, man, I got y'all covered. You want to talk about fucking the shortstop and middleman being fucking athletes.
If we're going to play softball and I see you in person and you're doing splits, I'm throwing dollar bills at you, man.
Yeah,
well, Evan, that's
throwing a lot of dollar bills. Get the dollars ready. This
Evan Hard,
you have to help him up after.
Play.
It's a funny thing you say that. I travel just I'll bring a cooler with me. I like hanging out. Dustin, when Dustin and I first started like meeting each other and like he had his B team, I used to just hang out with the boys. I like hanging out. I like to drink. But boy, back when I was playing college ball, I was about 215. I played about 212 to 216. I was beautiful. I had medium shirts on. You know, that shit was tight. I used to get fucking laid. Pussy was flying at me in college. And I tell you what, I decided stripping was a good idea to make some money to buy beer back in the day. And
is this a true story?
I still don't believe it.
Yeah.
Evan Hardy.
Sadly, I want to see it. I want to see the moves.
You've seen the moves. They're just fatter now.
Yeah, I've seen his.
What was your stage name, man? What was your stage name?
No. I didn't go to clubs. I did it at parties. Like I would just show up at parties. The clothes would start coming off. Big balls would be out. I've got like 2 basketballs in like a shopping bag with a baby carrot on top.
Got it.
Welcome to post 90.
I'm an Irishman, but I fucking shoot ropes, baby. But I started stripping one night and I made like $20. And I'm like, back in the day, I went to school in the early 2000s.
It's a full tank of gas at that time.
What the fuck is gas? That was a 30 rack of Jenny Cream Ale. Who needs fucking gas back in college? Like, so, I took that athletic ability and I had that from the field. I brought it to money. I was an entrepreneur back in the day.
Yeah.
And strippers get a bad name. Is my wife listening? Amanda, how close are you? Perfect. She's not listening. Like I dated an ex-stripper.
Listening.
She always listens. She knows the story. I dated a ex-stripper that lost her nursing license as well. It wasn't a good situation, but I made more money than she did. Let me just tell you that.
Wow. This is we learn something new every day, man.
Evan Hardy, welcome to the show.
Couldn't say I pictured you getting on the stage, man. That's or dancing in front. That takes a lot of confidence to strip in front of a lot of women like that.
Women?
How do you? Are you just assuming it's women?
Matter anymore.
Before 10 o'clock, here it goes.
You got like. Look at this. Let me lower the desk a little bit. But you got look at these meaty nipples. Like I got.
Look at those moves, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I got titties.
How did we get here?
Jesus Christ! I actually asked Amanda tonight.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's not going to go 3 hours.
No, I'm like, it's not going 3 hours, and like we got a new guest coming on. He's got a big ass fucking community behind him. He's got a great fucking page. I'm like, should I wear the Lippard print fur coat? And she's like, I don't know. You're gonna have a lot of people on here tonight.
No one's confirmed that they have pants on in this podcast. So I mean, you're without your shirt, so anything goes.
I have.
Right?
He's wearing a hat.
I have done a pantless show because you can't see down there. Anyway.
Damn.
So Evan Hardy, here's a question for you. One, we got what do the boys call you around Georgia? Do you have a nickname down there?
I don't. There was one.
What is going on?
Well, hold on. There was one when I first started. Jason Magnum. Everybody knows who that is. I actually knew him before softball.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you can say he kind of got me into it, but there was a time where I followed him around like a puppy, man, when it come to softball. Like, and I know there are people that are like, oh, he only talks to him because he plays conference. Or the motherfucker lived 2 streets over from me. Like, we grew up in the same neighborhood. And so people would call me Little J Mag, but not because I was good as him, but because I would wear. Oh, I can't believe I'm telling you this shit. There was a time when I was going to one pitches, and I saw all these guys. I just started getting into one pitches. Like, I played my first league ball team was a cotton T-shirt. Like, and I'd go to one pitches and I see all these fucks with their fucking dry fits and their fitted hats and shit. And I was like, I don't have any of that. And I was like, man, I need some fucking jerseys, man. We need to start playing on teams. He just gave me some jerseys. Now, none of them had his name on them, but I wear number 24. But at that time, I was 29 for a few one pitches back in the day. So I think that's where that name kind of stuck there. And, people, I get a lot of flack from it. Like Bubba, this dude named Anthony Eccles, he heckles me about it all the time. But no, I don't have any nicknames. We got some guys with some cool nicknames here though, but I don't have one.
Them one pitch tournaments are fun, man. I just moved to Florida 6 months ago. And
no, you're in Connecticut.
Allegedly.
We're trying to make sure the major Challenge Cup team from up here looks okay. We're trying to pull a Georgia real quick.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I still have
a couple good teams going to the Challenge Cup.
I still have my Connecticut license, but I guess I got told no today. But the one pitch tournaments on Friday nights are awesome.
That's the most. Earlier in the podcast, you said you want to have fun when you play. That's how I treat one pitches. It's where you can just relax, cut up, have fun. When Saturday comes, like, I'm a stickler. Like, I'll watch. I don't say I watch a lot of conference, but I can appreciate the guys that show up in uniform, suited and booted. It just kind of gives the game a more mature look. It doesn't necessarily, like, when I go tell my customers, like, hey, they ask me, like, what are you doing on the weekends? I tell them play softball, and then I see their face. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, let me show you this video. And it's it's guys that are suited and booted and everything. And I'm a stickler, man. I like to see on Saturdays guys in uniforms, but Friday night, man, that's just chill. That's fun for me. Yeah. And league night's fun too. Saturday, I'm there to compete.
You're suited and booted makes me all fucking fired up right now. I want to get suited.
I don't like to use going to war reference because that's a slap in the face to anybody that served, but I hate when people do that. But I do like softball is what we scratch our competitive itch with. And I don't go there. Once we get in between those lines, I don't care who's in the other dugout. I can't stand you. I fucking hate you. Outside the dugout, we're cool, man.
My guy.
We're good.
Dustin, you and Evan Hardy would get along perfectly.
Guys. Yeah, man. Exactly, dude. Like, why play tournaments if you're not doing that?
Why waste your money? Why waste the sponsors' money? Why we're buying bats and shoes and gloves. We're spending all this money locally, and bitch, I'm there to beat you. I'm there to get that prize package. I want the bragging rights. I want the
and
Facebook
if you pop
pick.
up to the infield, I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing 100%. Audibly. You know what
Dude,
I mean?
Sorry. I love talking shit back there. Catcher EH, bro, I am in your ear. That's just what I like about it. Fridays, you can lay back and cut up.
But that's the thing, like Dustin and I
like it.
I think we're going to run with that for a little bit. Just like we're trying to figure out the mailman with Snides. You're the exterminator.
I like it.
But Dustin and I are very different. we're both competitive cunts. Like we're both just twats on the field, but very differently. Dustin is that asshole. Dustin's the pitcher. He's an asshole. I faced him, playing off against Dustin, and I'll try to talk to him, and you would think we would never fucking know each other. But that's who I am, and that's who Dustin is. I'll tell you what, I'm this on the field. We lose. My wife knows. She's like, last year I think I lost a fucking an early game, and she just stayed the fuck away from me until half hour after. She knows
your truck wears it,
but like, I did punch my truck once. But like, I grew up playing competitively. I played competitively in college. Like I was in professional sports for 15 years. Like that was that's still me. And I still want that. Yeah, because I'm at first and I like to talk to everybody. And when I'm catching, like, I'm going to fucking same thing. I'm not a chirper, but I'm a fucking goofy cunt. Like, I'm a goofy fuck behind the dish, like, or at the first.
Right.
But that's my shit. And when I lose, I fucking hate you. And I talked to somebody today up here. I think he's one of the better players in the area as well. Like, I was talking to him and it's just like, he's like, I when I show up to the ball field, I want to fucking win. I'm like, yeah, if I've actually gotten in the bullshit with teams that I played on where it's like, if we're not here to win, I've got better shit to do on a Saturday, right? Like, I don't mind going to a tournament. I don't want to do something.
That counts has got handcuffs, man, on Saturday.
Good. I tell you what, like when those leaves start falling, I don't want to be anywhere near my fucking yard. But like,
facts.
I'm not trying to waste my time. I enjoy my wife. I think I enjoy her. I like spending time with her and like doing shit with my other friends. I'm not trying to waste my time on a fucking week. Like when Worlds is over, when we get knocked out at Worlds, goodbye. Thank you, Southwest, and my points and my status and all that shit. I'm changing that flight. I'm fucking out for the most part. I don't know. It's that competitive shit. We need it. It's that competitive itch we have. And that's why when I was at the majors, it was fun. Cause same thing like you, when you're like telling people, when I started telling my work colleagues, I play a lot of softball. I got this podcast, like, I do XYZ. And I'm like, fucking softball? And I'm like, all right, listen.
Always the same reaction every time.
Right. I'm like, Rezzy's got a $1 million budget. Like you got Kyle Pearson making a fucking shitload of money. You got some of these guys they make a lot of money. And they're like, and I shared them the U-Trip video that was the promo after the World Series game. I'm like, this is my voice on this. And they're like, this guy makes X. This is what's going on. What the fuck are you talking about?
You killed that, by the way. The play-by-play. I honestly, I've never heard of you or the podcast, even leading up to the major. I was like, whoever this is doing this is absolutely. It just made it more entertaining for me. If they don't invite you back, something's wrong with them. That's a shame.
Hopefully, we will be back.
Well, we're working
dude,
on
that was awesome. Kudos for that. Like you, and I know it probably seemed repetitive because it's an unlimited tournament and you're like, back. You're just saying it over and over again, but you gave it good energy, man. I think you killed that.
I appreciate it. But like, I think in the World Series, there's very few teams that were hitting unlimited home runs. B,
well, sure.
I got a good quick fucking shout out. Mike Snyder, the mailman, Scott Hartling. Without those two during the week, no fucking chance I'm down there. And I gotta give a quick shout out to Keith Bololi, because without Bololi, we wouldn't be at this spot. Like he kind of put us on the map, taking us to the PIF, which is a big tournament up in Quebec. But like Snides, the mailman, Hartling, like those guys reached out to DW. And Hartling was the reason why we found out about the cease and desist. But anyway,
checks their email. That's not our fault.
We have a Bring It podcast email. Don't ever do that. Just message us if you want to service a fucking cease and desist again. But no, I appreciate it. I gotta tell you, it was fun, and it kind of validated this a little bit when I started showing family members and like shit like that. Same thing like you. Like it's a little different down south, I feel like. baseball, softball. It's a little different of a community than up here. Amateur sports, and by amateur sports, I mean SEC and just high school sports in
I'm a
general.
Michigan fan, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the way, that wasn't a fucking catch. I meant to fucking open up with this, but we fucked up. You came in with the drinks. That wasn't a fucking catch. I'm not even an Ohio State fan. That wasn't a catch.
What was it? What did the referee say it was?
I understand what the fuck
You've
they
never
said.
told an umpire he made the wrong call?
Yeah, never.
I was about to say, when you
That
catch a ball in the
wasn't-
outfield and the umpire says out, what's the call?
Evan
It's a
Hardy.
catch, man.
Evan Hardy, you guys are going to be, or the Exterminator, you guys are going to be what, 2? I didn't see the rankings. Are they 2?
The rankings are out right now. We're
Yeah.
second.
What are they?
You're 2.
Okay.
2.
So I worked a little
Georgia,
bit this week.
Michigan, Washington, and
Washington,
FSU.
Florida State. Yeah.
Wait, Ohio State's out of the top 4?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Washington's going to be out after they lose to Oregon.
Florida State should not be in the top 4. It should be Georgia. Fuck Georgia and their
Wait a
fucking
minute.
dumbass fucking cupcake fucking schedule.
I agree.
Hold on
Michigan,
a minute.
I agree with you, J-Rob.
Washington, and Ohio State.
I agree with you.
Georgia. And that's listen, Georgia should be in the top 4, but that is a shit schedule they played.
Florida State.
Everybody played shit schedules. I mean, no one can sit there and go, this schedule.
No.
Nobody had a definitive, super hard schedule. Of course, SEC people are going to say, oh, the SEC. I'm an anti-SEC person. I really am, because you take a team. I know we're getting off topic of softball here, but we're just shooting.
This isn't a softball podcast, but
Okay.
it's the
Yeah. So you take somebody like Georgia that played Ole Miss. Ole Miss was ranked 9 at the time. Georgia beats them by fucking 40. And you're telling me this is a top 10 team? Come on, man. What are we
Ole
talking
Miss.
about? You can't say
This is
strength of
back to
schedule
11.
always based on the rank of the team at the current time you play. You got to go a little deeper than that. So I don't think anyone really had a crazy. You know who had the hardest schedule? Colorado. Notre Dame. Notre Dame had a hard
always has a
schedule.
tough.
Colorado did have an incredibly difficult schedule.
Colorado had a
Excellent.
very hard schedule, and they had to play on primetime games, 8, 9 o'clock at night. Come on, man.
And then a
Not-
10 a.m.
Now,
game.
I'm not going to sit here and say that I knew they weren't going to win 4 or 5 games total. I mean, if you're an actual fan and know the football, like you knew that there were people that were. I won several $100 off of the Colorado Oregon game.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
lost a
so,
couple bucks in
you
the
know-
Colorado TCU game.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue football with everybody. There's a reason why when the Civil War happened, the South lost and the North won. I mean, we're not the smartest folks around here, but
Thank you for admitting that.
it's not me shitting on my own people entirely. But you can't argue every subject with everybody.
Well, here you go. So, Evan Hardy, welcome. Well, the Exterminator, welcome to the podcast. This is what we do. We get fucking off topic. We talk softball and then we don't. This isn't the hit and sit show. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're not all softball all the time. So let's take a look at the football rankings real quick. And let me tell you, Georgia. All right, Georgia's a top 4 team. They haven't lost. So they're defending champion, two-time defending champion. Fine, leave them at 1. Michigan, yes, I love Washington.
Washington gets beat by Oregon. Oregon sneaks in there.
I think Oregon's winning as well.
Oregon's going to beat Washington by 20.
This is
Washington struggled with
Oregon might be
Washington
my
State.
fucking game of the
Mhm.
year.
Washington is in trouble.
Washington, Oregon's gonna be sick. But I'm sorry, Washington, Oregon winner is in the playoffs, obviously. Florida State, even if they win ACC championship, Ohio State should be 4.
Agree.
You beat
I don't
Penn. I'm sorry,
think
Penn
Ohio
State.
State should be
Scroll down
4.
a little bit
I think
further.
Texas,
Scroll down a little
I
bit
think
further.
Texas should be 4.
The
Yeah.
problem is
Hold on,
Florida
let me get
State
to
lost their quarterback. They lost their
All
quarterback.
right,
Look
stop
at
right. Well, you went too far. Go, the 2 lost teams, we don't care about them.
Yeah.
But here's my
Right,
question.
right here. Yeah.
You got Alabama, who's ranked 8th, right? And Texas,
Yep.
in my opinion, deserves to be in front of them. They beat them head up in Alabama.
Mhm.
Okay.
Alabama wasn't good at that point, but I agree with you. Yes.
What's the point of an L is an L? Okay. I know it's kind of weighed heavily the later in the season. I get that, but look at Texas. Texas is how many quarterbacks started for Texas this year? 3.
2 or 3, right? Yeah.
2, I think.
Yeah,
Say
so-
3, I think.
I mean, exactly. So if you take, let's just say Alabama beats Georgia in the SEC championship. Alabama, I don't see getting in the top 4. There's no way. Not without getting Texas in there. So my question is, if Bama beats Georgia, an 8th place team beating a 1st place team, does that knock Georgia out of the top 4?
No.
No.
They're in no matter what.
You guys are out of your
How bad is
mind.
that? I think it does. I think it is going to matter about how big that Alabama win is. If they win by a last-second field goal, no. But if they beat them by 20, yeah, Georgia's out.
I'm telling you.
I'm a Florida State fan who is not going to be upset when they are not in the top 4 because losing Jordan Travis was huge. Yeah. But they have beaten teams in the same way the other ones have.
This could be a playoff with no SEC teams in it.
I'm okay with that.
As a Michigan fan, so do I. I'm okay with that too.
But it's going to suck when Iowa scores 3 points and somehow beats Michigan 3-0. Because that's the only way it's happening.
Yeah.
You know, awesome?
There's some upsets that could happen this week, and the whole fucking you don't want to be in that committee room.
Here's what I would love to see: Bama beat Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State top 4. Michigan, if Bama beats Georgia, Michigan makes them 1. Ohio State's 4. Cool. If Washington loses to Oregon,
they're out.
Or Washington's out, Oregon's in.
If
Florida
Washington loses to Oregon, they both lost. Their equal losses are to each other. Why is Washington?
That's why I think Bama sneaks in if Oregon beats Washington.
Holy fuck.
Over Texas?
They beat Georgia? Yeah.
Mailman.
I do.
How do you put a team in over the team that's ranked ahead of you now that beat you head up?
It's Alabama.
The Saban effect.
Yep.
Money, money, money.
Well, here.
Texas has way more money than anybody in college football.
Yeah, but who's been a bigger team in the past 10 years?
Here,
Texas is going to shake up the SEC next year.
I know. I agree, but I think Bama gets in if that's the situation.
Here, you can take a look at this.
I think if
the committee will all have car bombs on their vehicles.
If Florida State's undefeated, they still don't make it in.
I think they're in. They win and they're in.
I don't.
All right.
They're not going to let a team pass them.
I know, but
22. Here we go. Bama beat them by 10. Whatever, they beat up Rice. Who gives a shit?
Wyoming, Bama.
In Bama, who everybody lost money on because no way Bama was losing Texas twice in a row, and they're not losing in Tuscaloosa in year 2. No fucking chance. Wyoming, whatever. Baylor, shit this year. Kansas, fuck them. Oklahoma, yikes. That was a fucking game. Houston, fuck them. Too close.
They weren't 12th ranked when they played either. Oklahoma was, I want to say 20th.
Oklahoma's in the 20th. Yes.
Yeah.
Houston, fuck them. Kansas State, like 3-point overtime win, but Georgia's had some tough one with their fucking shit schedule. TCU's dog shit, only beat them by 3. Iowa State, whatever. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna have to see what they do against Oklahoma State on Saturday.
They're gonna kick their ass.
You hope so. You think so, but like, I don't know. This is all more
good. It's a good weekend to be a fan of football. That's for sure.
It's a bad weekend to be in fucking Germany. Let me tell you that much.
In Deutschland?
But I'll tell you what. Fucking Mama Ro's gonna be like, why are you drinking so much fucking German beer? I'm gonna be like, because I like to drink beer, and I'm in Germany where beer was fucking invented.
Because you haven't been drinking as much, you're taking advantage of it now. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, Evan Hardy here. We're gonna bring it back to softball for a second.
All right.
Since Softball Uncensored and Bring It podcast, according to an association, makes so much money. Where are we doing a Softball Uncensored / Bring It podcast softball tournament? Like, where are we gonna go? Like, where is there? Do you have good facilities down in Florida? You have your hands, or Georgia that you have your hands on? Like, should we do it like in Mid-Atlantic? Should we go to Cary, North Carolina? Where are we gonna get people for this fucking shit show?
Are we running it, or are we just showing up and making an appearance?
How about we just show up? Let's jump on board.
I'm terrible at doing brackets, man. I'm terrible at doing brackets and times, man.
Big bracket guy, big scheduler planner right here.
Dustin and I are really good at brackets. We're not so good on like being like adults. So like, can we jump on a good tournament somewhere that already established, and we'll just grow it a little more. Any tournament directors want that.
I'm sure that, like I said earlier, I'm gonna hook up with that Play Local, and they're gonna host a tournament at the Summit in Chattanooga, which is a very nice complex. I want to say there's
8
fields, 8 fields, 9 fields, something like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's really dope. They call it's essentially on a mountain in the mountains, but it's
in the ravine, right?
Yeah.
I also like how you're picking a spot that's like 2 hours from Atlanta. Meanwhile,
well, no, I'm giving you an example. Hold on, I'm giving you an example. So that's a great complex, but I've only been to Myrtle Beach once. How far away is Myrtle Beach for you?
Oh, listen, anything that's in the middle for us, where I'm a bougie bitch.
I mean, let's be honest. They're gonna have to fly us out regardless, right? So we can go. Let's go to Vegas. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go to Vegas.
Let's go, Evan Hardy, the Exterminator. We're fucking doing Vegas
tournament.
You guys ain't making it to the field. You're not making it.
Put us up in the fucking Cosmopolitan. I want fucking hookers and blow, and let's have a day.
Yeah,
Mailman, that's why you're there.
You're the
chaperone.
Yes, I'll be you guys' babysitter.
Youngest guy here, so you're the chaperone.
Because if I go to Vegas without Amanda, I'm gonna need a chaperone. I'm just making sure behind the green screen she's just not giving me a fucking look.
You're probably gonna need some bond money if you come with me. That's all I'm gonna tell you. So.
I'll even Evan Hardy, the Exterminator. Actually, there's your new full nickname. It's a long one, and I typically don't like long nicknames, but I think it works for you. Evan Hardy, which is all one word, the Exterminator. Evan Hardy, the Exterminator. You and I are gonna fuck some shit up.
I love it.
What you're doing for softball and your the Softball Uncensored page, giving people a place to voice everything is fucking awesome. I'm so glad I was introduced to your page about almost a year ago at this time. We need people like you. We need people like yourself, like the Swing Cartel. John, obviously fucking the GOAT, John King's Rhino. Rhino's the fucking somebody that probably doesn't get enough attention nationally. And man, we just got to keep growing this shit. We all have fun. I love that you're doing it because it's a fun, fucking stupid, expensive hobby we do. But you know what else is an expensive hobby? Cocaine. And there's a lot of people in our fucking community that do that too. So
meth is a big one down here for South boys, but
fucking you think we can't dude, I'm fucking 3 blocks away from like a fucking meth house. Like we're good. It's everywhere. But Evan Hardy, the Exterminator, I appreciate it. Thanks for joining us tonight. This has been awesome. It's been great to fucking grab you and get some time. Keep doing your fucking shit. We're gonna get a fucking tournament together. And now that we've had this bullshit together, you're gonna get inundated with bullshit fucking texts from me.
And Evan, J-Ro's gonna do a 24-hour podcast soon.
Oh yeah.
Any guys that are willing to jump on for a half an hour?
Wow.
He's gonna do it.
So you're just gonna like randomly pull guests in, or have you ever? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Evan Hardy.
I was like, so I had to click a link to get in here and do this. So like, I do mine from Facebook Live. Like, I have had people reach out to me because like I kind of want to jazzy mine up a little bit, like how you're able to do all these little cool little features that give people nicknames and you make it all fancy and shit. Cool. I like it. I'm digging it. But I like to do the Facebook Lives because I can pull people in at any given moment. You should consider doing it from your Facebook and just pull them in.
Oh, Evan Hardy, the heaven. Oh, heaven. Oh, we got
that might be it. Okay. Oh, heaven. Oh.
Heaven. Here we go. Heaven. All right. So heaven. Here's the deal. Oh, Dustin, are you really that fucking surprised it's going to show?
This is just taking a turn.
I'm in the back seat. I'm down to ride wherever this car goes.
I was wondering how many times you've said Evan Hardy tonight.
I've been keeping it.
It's got to be over. It's got to be over 30.
He's at 43.
He's at 33.
I lost count.
43.
We'll go back and watch it and figure it out.
No, I'm just joking. I've not been keeping check
If
marks
I had,
on that.
That's the kind of that's the stuff we need you to do, Coco. Come on.
I've been taking
Coco,
a ton of
it's
notes
only been
today.
3 years. We still need you to figure out your role here.
I have my hamburger notebook. I know right here. My hamburger
role that
notebook.
I was gonna say everybody's been pretty vocal. Coco over here has been kind of quiet. He's just done it.
Like, you've never watched the show.
And he would come in at different parts, and I'm like, I'm just digging the stash, man. That Tom Cruise stash is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Whenever he says anything, I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? Oh shit. Yeah, that's right.
He's on this podcast still? I just keep showing up. I'm like Milton from Office Space.
Love it.
Heaven, here's the deal. On the 24-hour podcast, it came up last week, and yes, I'm holding my titties. Last week with John Hickey, who is the Massachusetts State Director, big fan of the show, big contributor to the show. He's been like, I think he's our most running guest. Like, he's been on 4 or 5 times. He was like, hey, let's do a 24-hour podcast. We started off with no streaming capabilities. So with the platform we use, and you and I can chat about it if you want that. There's a free version as well. But our streaming kit, we go to Twitch at Bring It Pod. We're on YouTube at Bring It Podcast, youtube.com, Bring It Podcast. Like, so we stream to multiple places all at once. We started off with the Facebook only. And we were like, you know what? That just doesn't work as well. And
we started off with just Spotify.
Nothing.
Yeah, we were just on Spotify.
Yeah.
Well, at least you had a team to do it. Like, I couldn't get motherfuckers to want to come on the live at first. They're like, I'm not coming on Facebook Live. I was like, you talk all this shit at the field, but won't do it on the camera.
Yeah. So our thing has always been like, it's like you're hanging out at the field and just shooting the shit with the boys. You know what I mean? Like, you're just talking about what's going on. I mean,
we've had the mailman at the field. We've had Mike Gallo has been down in Vieira at different conference events, joining us on the field. We had Miranda Vondersair of Pork Pistols out of Indiana,
showing up on the podcast dressed up as Napoleon Dynamite. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I like it. Love it.
You know, so like that's why we do it on this type of a platform where who the fuck we had Josh Schleybaugh from Schleybaugh Towing in Ohio. He joined us. He was like, he said something in the comments, and I'm like, I messaged him right away. I was like, hey, Josh, you want to join us on the show and talk about the Amish women not playing or playing softball barefoot in their dresses? And he joined us, and we had a whole conversation. So the nice thing with this StreamYard is if we want you to join and you're in the comments and you're like, hey, I'll join, we'll just send you the fucking link. Like, we're not sophisticated motherfuckers. Like, we're just like,
I like it.
I'm fucking shit-faced. It's 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night. Hungover tomorrow is going to be fun, but we'll make it work.
Coco.
Yes, sir.
Before J-Ro kicks Evan off, we need the MSK.
Who? Thank you, the mailman. But who says I was kicking Evan off?
I felt
you were leading to it. I felt like
I was going to kick Coco off.
I had more questions for Heaven.
All right.
Come on, fire them off, man.
Yeah,
all right. So what do we got for teams? What are the teams to look out for from Georgia in 2024? What do we got in their divisions?
This is tough because the appeals process hasn't gone in yet, and down here in Georgia, in recent years, a lot of the players would get approved for their appeals, as we know, to get dropped back down. Now we have, J-Mag's obviously. Yeah, J-Mag's running the U-Trip side of things this year. I think he's a firm believer in, competition play up. So as far as teams to look out for, it's tough to say because, like, Eagle Paint was down in U-Trip from Georgia.
They knocked my C team out of Worlds.
That team. First of all, that name has been around Georgia forever. Like it's like the Resmondo of Georgia, along with another team called Southern Mayhem back in the day. But it's generally it's the same sponsor. Some people like them, some people don't. But
He
hit
a ball off us. I think it's still going. I think he hit it about 900.
Oh, that's Rob Taylor. Yeah, Rob Taylor. He can touch it. But no, their sponsor's named Bodine, and I mean, if any sponsors deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, that's one of them. He's poured thousands of dollars into local softball. I mean, I know there's teams locally that don't like sponsorships because they're able to pull players that essentially wouldn't play on their team because it's sponsored. But that's a sponsor that no one can deny has poured thousands of dollars. But to answer your question, I would say on the C level, Bro, who played D this year out of Georgia, from the roster pickups, now that they're C class, some of the players they're getting, there'll probably be a team to look out for. Top Shelf was one of our C teams last year, but they kind of fell off a little bit with losing Jackson Watts. A couple other things, but they're revamping and making. I don't know if he's going to go under the Top Shelf name or he created a team called Black Label, where he's going to have a BSC team and a U-Trip team, basically. That's Sammy Martinez. He'll have a good team out of C. Just kind of spitball here. I don't know who's going to be good in E right now. We had like 7 teams getting bumped to D class. So D's kind of wide open. I really don't have a team to kind of put ahead of anybody right now. I want to say us, but we finished second before we win any tournaments more than anybody in softball in Georgia. I'm a second place fucking guru. Like, I already know Michigan's going to go to the national championship and finish second. It's just, I'm used to it by now. It's just what we do. So, but I really don't have a team to look out for in D right now, honestly, or E. And we have a rec here, and I'm always going to say stop playing rec. That's just fucking ridiculous. But
yeah, E is rec.
3 years at E, and you got to be bumped up. That's what it should do.
100%. And I mean, again, I'm not saying I don't like the people that play rec. I have a lot of friends that play rec, but from a competition standpoint, you got to stop that shit.
Can I ask you a question about competition versus at the rec E level down in Georgia? Well, E level in Georgia's D teams. Either way,
right?
Is the lower divisions, the lower you go in divisions, does the shit talking and the ego wearing get bigger? It is. He's nodding his head.
Bat flips are higher.
Hey, I just hit a 14 hopper through the 5-6.
Yeah,
woo!
Man. It's definitely, that's one thing I can appreciate as you go up in the classes. And even in other states that we've played, the higher the classes you play, there is a little bit of, talking shit and having fun, but it's not like we're used to getting base hits at this point. We're used to hitting home runs. We're not gonna, it's I don't want to say it's a respect thing, but it is kind of a respect thing. Like, we have fun with it, but it's not to the level of what's going on in the E and the rec stuff. So,
no, that's awesome to hear. Do you think Eagle Paint, they're moving up to B? I think I want to say that we lost to I lost a few of those guys in 2019 when they were BCI. But are they moving up to B this year? Are they doing conference? Are they going to try and do a little more? What's the plan there, if you know?
Well, so Cinco runs that team, coaches that team, and he, I've asked him a couple of times. I think a lot of those guys they want to play. Obviously, C was already hard to play locally, so being a B team is even more difficult. But I can think of 4 tournaments off the top of my head that are open for them to play in locally. You got the Clash, which is a WSL tournament set up like the Pick a Dixie, if you've ever heard of that, which is also another tournament in Tennessee where you kind of start off in your classes quad and work your way to the Final Four, and you have a
whoa. Hold on, pause. You start off in your classes quad?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? So like you have like a B, C, D, and E team in a quad?
So they usually have a team cap. I think, depending upon how many fields you have, I think the Pick a Dixie was 64 teams as the team cap. So you have X amount of teams. Tournament. Yeah, X amount of exactly. Well, it's one of those tournaments where they don't just sit there and let you just fill it up, because it's one of those tournaments that everybody wants to get in. You have to prepay to get into it. There's no cap, and it's limited because of field space. Like, we don't have Berliner Park in our backyard with 32 fucking fields you can have this tournament.
Cute.
So
right,
exactly. So yeah, like they'll have, you know, E has a bracket, B has a bracket, C has a bracket, and then you'll have an open. And so in those brackets, if you're winning, you will play teams in your class to the Final Four where you have E, D, C, and then open, and then they'll play each other, and then you'll find out who the victor is. But if you lose at any point, you could be playing fucking, you know, anybody in the losers bracket. So it actually used to be a completely random draw tournament. But they realized that once teams figured out who they were playing, if they got a bad draw, they're like, fuck it, I'm not coming. So now they started off in quads, and you work your way to it, and you try to get to that last Final Four. So if you win your quad, I think you get like a couple grand. And if you win the whole tournament, you can win several grand.
Pick a Dixie, that is, sir.
Pick a Dixie in Tennessee. The Clash is in Georgia. WSL, you got the Sizzle and Slam in Montgomery, Alabama. All same format.
The pick is usually what? The pick is usually in July, right? June or July.
Yeah, it's a summer deal. Mm-hmm. We had guys last time I played it. I'll tell you the story real quick. We had an 8:00 game time, and there were people that played up until 1, 2 o'clock that morning that slept in lawn chairs. That had an 8:00 game time and slept in lawn chairs at the field. We pull up and we're waking people up like, hey, man, we got to play.
Hey, go grab middle. We got to play you guys.
Yeah. Those are the Pick a Dixie. I know J-Mag, again, he's new to U-Trip. He's going to have a similar format tournament this year and hopefully try to gain some ground with that. But those are at least, to answer your question, those are 3 tournaments right there that Eagle Paint could play in. Plus you got conference events here. So they essentially are looking at 4 to 5 local tournaments that they could play without any travel.
Are they going to play? Are they going to play conference? Because when I talked to Cinco Softball, he said they were talking about it.
That's the same answer I've gotten. Is that they're going to, they're kind of trying to talk about it. I mean, them getting bumped to B class gives them options to other players.
Yeah.
To say it nicely, everyone on that team isn't what I would think is a B caliber player. Everyone on that team is better than me, but they're not all what I would consider a B caliber player.
I'll tell you what, right now, that pitcher,
Jake,
is good.
Jake Griffin's very good defensive pitcher. If they don't play conference, and this is for whoever's watching this, because I've had coaches reach out. I mean, I had I don't know if Jackson knows this or not, but like his coach sponsor reached out to me and asked for my honest opinion about him. And I was honest, and they gave him a shot, and I'm hoping that he gets another shot next year. But
who did he play with?
Epic, Tyler Neary and them.
Yeah, I don't know if they're having a team.
Yeah, I don't. He got a Cut 4. That's actually the hat I'm wearing today. Yeah. They actually sponsor our uniforms, but he got a Cut 4 sponsorship today. And I put in the comments, I was like, free agents getting free stuff. All right, cool, man, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If there are several players on that team that could easily transition to help other conference teams without a doubt.
Their shortstop,
as high as AA.
Their shortstop's good too.
That was Brent Gibbs. He actually moved back to St. Louis. He's up in the north side or Midwest now.
That's good for him because he can drive to a lot of tournaments.
Yep, he's up there.
I found it. I found the Bring It or the Softball Uncensored, since we're gonna do it in your neck of the woods. Softball Uncensored / Bring It podcast / JMag tournament.
All right.
Whatever the fucking tournament he's coming up with, that's gonna be like that Pick a Dixie.
Yeah.
Atlanta's easy. How far from Atlanta are you? Whereabouts?
I live in Atlanta. I can get to the airport in 3 minutes.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I got my buddy
up from the airport.
Vinny, my boy Vinny lives in. My boy Vinny lives in Duluth. So like,
is it Vinny Sanquini?
No, it's Jeff Vincent. He's with those. He's with those Syracuse Smoke Boys. Moved down to Georgia during COVID. Bought a house in Duluth, Georgia.
I was supposed to go to Duluth on Saturday, but I think they're canceling it because of the rain.
Vinny's got a little bit of money. He living up in Duluth.
Man, he bought at the right time.
Did he? Okay.
I know what he spent. He bought at the right time. He's been there a couple of years. But I gotta tell you, like this Pick a Dixie and those other tournaments you're talking about, that got me horny. Like those are the types of shit. Like I was talking to Chucky Rohrback today with PF, it's a B team around here. We were talking about having like a preseason tournament where it's kind of like everybody plays in it and where you finish is what you're ranked. And I'm like, Chucky, that's fucking psychotic because you know you're going to have teams that are going to sandbag. And he's like, I know, but then you're on a watch list. But we're looking at it. We're competitive in the Northeast. We compete at the sea level. You know, whatever. E&D is Georgia and Florida. We get it. Y'all fucking.
You don't have to do that every time. We know. I've seen y'all got good teams up there too now. I mean, there's not.
I know, but like I do have to say it because we're y'all do. Although Ohio,
we have Connecticut and New York.
Ohio does it right up because
I was gonna say, is anybody Amish on this podcast? Because them motherfuckers run softball. So
no, it was Ohio.
We have them on, but they're not usually on.
Yeah,
but like. It's funny, like when Bad Beat, these guys, the Coco and D were on Bad Beat back in 16 when you guys won E-Worlds. No, 14?
16.
And we had 2 New Hampshire teams in the E-Worlds finals, and everybody fucking threw a hissy fit. And now all of a sudden it's just been Georgia and Florida because, you know, whatever. Fucking, you know, you got those guys from Valdosta or wherever, Loud and Heavy, played them. Good dudes, actually. Big motherfucker. I actually asked their catcher.
Actually were an E team at the beginning of the year.
Shocking. That was a fucking E team to start the year.
They're C now, yeah.
Cute.
If that was an E team to start the year, then I was in shape back in fucking March. But like I asked their catcher, Nick Clem, and I'm like,
that's a big boy.
Yo, and this is just one of my lines. I look at the motherfucker, we'll watch him because we're going to play him the next day. And I look at him, I'm like, yo, where'd you play fucking football? He goes, Maryland. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
And then somebody was like, yeah, he played for Green Bay. I'm like,
yeah.
You don't mean University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. You mean the Packers, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Those boys cut the motherfucking ball.
They like to, now that's a team that likes to have fun and talk shit. I mean, I
fucking love that team.
Yeah, they were definitely you know, Rhett, I don't think he got to make the trip to Worlds, but that Rhett Burgess, who I mentioned earlier, is on that team as well. But Loud and Heavy is a team where defense isn't their best asset, but they can make the routines, but they can hit though. They can hit the shit out of the ball. And it's a hitter sport, so they have fun. They are loud and heavy.
I love them. That's my type. That's my type of team. But I'll tell you what, that first baseman wasn't a D player, and he was a C player.
Is he tall and skinny?
I mean, what's tall? Like he was my height. He was probably 6'2". He was probably our height. He was probably 220, 230.
I know one of their first basemen was Zach Morgan. He's actually a twin. He has another twin on that team named TJ Morgan. I don't know who played first base for him down there. I don't know. I don't know if they took their full team. They might have took some pickups.
Good team. I think they finished 5th, but like I'm watching them and I'm just like, fuck, man. Like this was, and like we didn't play well, but I'm watching this team and I'm like, yeah, and I don't give a fuck. Like people up here bitch about Vieira and it's fucking the wind and so like shut the fuck up. I always equate it to golf because when you go golfing, I don't know if you're a golfer or not, but like when you go golf, if you golf in the mountains, you golf link style, and these boys are fucking tired of hearing it, but like when you golf at a different golf course than what you're used to playing at, it's not the fucking same kind of golf. So you got to adjust. You got to learn how to be a ball player. So that's why I love Vieira.
Golf is not for me. I'm better at hitting a ball that's moving than one that's standing still, man. Can't do
it. Same. Especially a little tiny ball that's fucking. You know,
I have videos of me swinging and missing a golf ball at the driving range.
We'll put that on TikTok for you if you send it our way.
Once softball's done for me, I have no idea what I'm going to do to scratch my competitive. Like maybe like a walk-only basketball league with like 80-year-olds or something. I don't know.
Did you play
pickleball?
No, I didn't. I played in high school. I actually tore my ACL right out of high school and gained about 100 pounds, had another kid. And I was like, man, I got to do something. And that's how I got into softball. So.
That's how you got into this silly little sport.
Kids.
Well, heaven. Like you're not Evan Hardy anymore from here on out. You are heaven of softball uncensored heaven. Listen, I'm glad we got you on. I'm glad you came on the pod. We really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure. Well, I guess Dustin didn't fucking like you having on.
DS just leaves. He don't say goodbye. He just leaves the room.
I was worried about the MFK.
I gotta tell you, let's fucking combine forces here a little bit. Let's. I mean, Coco. No offense to you, you don't leave fucking New Hampshire.
I get on planes.
Barely. You got to drive there, and I'm not driving you. So let's. I would love to figure out a Softball Uncensored Bring It podcast tournament down in the South. We'll figure it out. Maybe for next, not 2024. Maybe we will look at something 25.
J-Ro,
go ahead,
man. I don't know if Georgia's getting in on it. They're doing a Florida County tournament in February.
Do you have to have? Well, it's Florida. There's no registered shit. Like it's just.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you
based off your zip code, right?
It's where you live, or if you graduated high school in that county. So I don't know.
Florida. Everybody graduated high school in Florida if you want to play in it, right?
Yeah, but like my county's so small, I get to play in another county. But there's I think Jay and Nina from Riot is doing it. Yeah. I think there's 15 or 16 counties in it right now.
This person's saying
Georgia
has one.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's going to turn into a thing where Georgia and Florida are going to play each other, but Florida, this is the first year they're doing it.
Well, last year they had a tournament in Valdosta. They call it the Border Battles, and it was between Florida and Georgia. And there was
because that's where softball only exists, apparently.
Well, hold on. They had Ralph Calderon runs the Florida and J-Mag ran the Georgia, and they had what's called a challenge Directors Cup.
Yeah, we have
don't use that Challenge Cup. We don't need any more lawsuits.
Directors Cup, yeah. And so he's supposed to be getting in with other directors in other states and move it around. So like a Georgia, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Georgia, West Virginia, Georgia, whatever. But as far as what you're saying, I'd be all for like a Bring It Uncensored, just have merch tables and just guys just have I'd want it to be open, no classes.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. So it is.
I almost wanted to be. Go ahead.
The Florida County one, I think it's open. I think there's coaches who are picking the players from their county to play in it. Yeah. It's a Saturday and a Sunday.
Heaven, we need to. I know you haven't listened to a lot of us. I'm a big component of women's softball. I mean, Jesus Christ, you just had a trans woman on. Like, we've been big on pushing the women's game here as well. My wife, she doesn't know it yet, but Sasha Killings, this is her ring. Sasha Killings from Chaos. I proposed to her drunk on a stream. So we should do a men's and women's tournament so we can have, like Sasha Killings show up. I met her at the World Series and I didn't know who she was.
Why not make it almost like a draft where anybody can be picked on any team? You could have them almost like a Spiders tournament, but just completely open. And can't use that word. That's market. That's trademark.
Yeah, that's trademarked.
Yeah, that's
right. I didn't know you could trademark words, but evidently that's a thing. So
yeah,
mediocre draft.
Maybe don't have ultra draft, and you bring beer.
Yes.
Oh no! Because if anybody shows up with Mick Ultra, they're banned. Mick
Ultra. I gotta watch my calories, man.
You're a liar.
Yeah, you said you're getting under 300.
I drank 11 fucking Mick Ultras during a live stream broadcasting some of the women's AA and AB. I didn't get a fucking slight buzz. Meaning a slight buzz and Ultra and how bad that fucking beer is. Coco, MFK, let's fucking
put a lime in it. Put a lime in your Ultra next time.
Shut the fuck up. No, put tequila and fucking vodka in it. Fuck. Heaven, we got something for you, baby.
J-Ro, I got a question for you, bud.
Oh, let's go, baby.
So how long you been playing softball?
This is my third year of tournament softball. Whoa.
And you're already running a podcast and you're all in right now. Where do you see yourself going with this? Is there an end game? Is there are you just kind of shooting at the hip, or is this do you have a do you have any goals with this?
Can I give you my question? I'm gonna give you my opinion. I think if UChip lets him do what he can do, he'll be in a walker doing it.
Just for the love of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I played. So I was playing league ball in Connecticut. Just a shitty league. Just playing with my buddies. One of them's down now in Duluth. I loved it. If I had known about this tournament shit back then, I would have been playing. I mean, like I said, I'm 42. I started at 39. I would have been playing years ago. The end game of this, there's never been an end game. Dustin, and a former host of ours came up with this idea. They wanted to be a league podcast, and I ran a podcast for an agency, a marketing agency, and I just they were like, yeah, just come on. And we were about to jump on the first show. I'm like, who's the host? What's the name? We had no idea. They're like, you're the host. Here's the name. I'm like, all right. Oh shit. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have an end game. I don't have a real like fucking path for this. I love doing this. I love having fun. It's a stupid fucking game we play. It's enjoyable. We spend so much money. We spend so much time away from our families, with our families. My wife has now dealt with this for better part of almost 4 years now. Like, there's no end game. Once this stops becoming fun, goodbye. I'm done.
That's my answer too. It's like once I'm not having fun with it anymore, I think I'm done.
Right?
It's enjoyable. You mentioned the page and all this stuff, and I had when I made it. I know I'm backtracking. You're probably ready to kick me off this fucking thing. Is it bedtime yet?
I'm not ready to kick you off. I'm ready to kick Coco off.
I haven't even done anything wrong yet.
Yeah, I like Coco. I like Coco.
I saved my time.
He doesn't say shit.
He's a silent assassin, man. I listen. Like it. I like it. A lot of people think that I do this for me, for clout or self-recognition or some sort of boastering. Most of the time, even though we do a lot of trolling on my page and talk a lot of shit, I have put a lot of people try to shine light on them. I always try to, hey, look at this guy. Hey, you need to look at this guy, but at the same time, it needs to be a balance. But I personally think what you're doing is great. Like, you got a great personality for it. Like, I'm already kind of stealing some ideas with some of this stuff. Like, I need to put a border on my shit. I need to get some more people on here. Like, I'm kind of like nitpicking a little bit here. I don't want to steal your swag completely, but I'm definitely like, oh, I need to do this. But I challenge, I don't know who's all watching this, but I think there should be more of us in different states that do their own local.
Yes.
Your own local thing. So the only way the game is ever going to grow in this day and age is for people like you and me and Rhino and John Kings that boast and brag about different types of players. Now, there's athletes all over this country. So why not have someone, get on make a group and just fucking let it fly, just fucking talk some shit, have fun. I think my dog is going crazy right now. I think, since even yourself, you've named guests that you've had on here. You've already kind of put your stop. You've already kind of, I got a 2-pound dog. You'd think he's a fucking German Shepherd. But,
okay.
It's my daughter's dog. So first of all, let me put that out there.
Passing the blame.
Disclaimer.
Here.
Yeah,
it's allegedly my dog.
It's actually the term is peekapoo, which is a Pekingese mixed with a toy poodle. It's like this big.
Jesus.
Your daughter's dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she definitely picked that out. But anyways, I think I really hope that more states, there's got to be a shit talker in every state that can just kind of just talk to a camera or a microphone and, just kind of who loves the game just as much as we do and can have a conversation or not have a conversation, just shoot the shit, but just shine light and bring attention to it, because before I'm done, I would like to see some of softball get back to what I used to hear it was, which was hundreds of teams at any given local tournament just coming out and playing softball. Like, I tell people, not because no one's bragging to people about that they play slow pitch. from an athletic standpoint. They're happy to get out of the house and scratch that competitive itch and, have good camaraderie with everybody that's there and drink, have fun, cut up, and still be competitive. And I think I really hope that more people do what we're doing.
So I know, J-Ro, you said last week, the bench is going to start doing their podcast again. I talked to Rippy yesterday. He ran that with those guys. The bench, they're like a Michigan, Ohio thing. They're going to start
off the bench. Out of Michigan.
Off the bench, yeah. They're going to start doing theirs again.
Good. That's awesome to see those boys back because they're huge in that one nation
That's another
world.
big area for.
Yeah, so their plan is
Ohio.
Indiana. Their plan is to start up again to try and get on a regular basis.
Good to see those boys back.
Yeah,
I just don't want it to become a competition between content people either. Like I see people like I've had people reach out to me and want to, and I hate saying this is the only way I can word it, but I don't want it to be worded like this. But like they want to kind of ride the wave a little bit, like in a sense, like we've already established a footing in it. So you could ask virtually anybody to come on your group without hesitation, complete confidence. You could be like, hey, Ryan Harvey, would you like to come on my podcast and talk some shit? You couldn't do that when you first started. You know what I'm saying? Like now
we couldn't do that too much until the Major World Series. We couldn't do that.
But what I'm saying is like,
I know
we kind of get lost in that sense of like, at the end of the day, these are conference guys, but they're just people. You know what I mean? Like we can talk about anything, but I think you solidified yourself so people know that you're not just going to, it's not a waste of their time. You know what I mean? Like people are actually watching this and looking at it and things like that. So,
well, I agree with you. Sorry, Dustin, go ahead.
I was going to say another thing that we've kind of put forward is something that you have said all along throughout this podcast, Heaven, is one of the reasons why we allegedly did the streams of the association. It's to put the people from our area to the forefront of what we want to push the people in our area. We want to push them, show them, hey, this is what the people from our area are doing. And that is right. That's our goal with that. You know what I mean? It's not to
right.
Yeah. If we can get some additional followers where people are staying with us until 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night.
What's up, Hickey?
To us talk.
My guys, my followers have left a long time ago.
Yeah, right. But that's like if they stay, that's awesome. Like this is for us, but like the streams, and that's why we like them so much, was to put the players from our area that are either in the conference or, like you said earlier, in the lower levels, the C, D, E. Those levels don't get the love, and that's where all the players are. All the players are in the C, D, and E below the conference. Like
100%.
They love hearing their name. They love seeing that. How many clips have we seen where it's J-Ro going nuts over some dude hitting a gap or something like that, or a
triple play,
grand slam, or a triple play? You know what I mean? Just stupid shit like that. Like, yeah.
Come on, J-Ro.
You guys see that? Come on, J-Ro, hit it. But anyway, that's the
conversation.
No, but I was gonna. You lost it.
But it's genuine though.
But that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Get the great players from our area. Oh, try.
Go ahead.
Get it going. You know what I mean? Get them in the forefront.
Yeah, 100%. And that's oh wait, hold on, Heaven. Sorry.
He finally found it.
Yeah, we gotta go in
Hickey
here.
says triple play now. Can't hear it.
Bad. You can't hear it?
Which is unfortunate because this is some of my best commentary.
It's your only commentary, you fucking twat.
It's the worst. Get down.
Get down.
To the runner. All right.
You could have just done it live. You could have done it live.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard.
Loaded here. Bad spot in the top of the seventh for Bololi. Roll over. Bones 1. Bones 2. Bones 3. Let's go. Triple play. Oh, baby.
See, that's a genuine reaction.
Yes.
It's not made up. It's authentic. Like, I don't even know why I even go down some of these rabbit holes on YouTube, but I mean, we've all seen bat reviews, different people doing them. There are some people out there that are just, it's just not entertaining. Like when the Smash Bros, Bat Bros were doing theirs, they were I'm a big energy guy, you know. I'm a big dugout guy. Like if I don't feel that the response is genuine and authentic, I'm not gonna watch it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I think every state has somebody that could, you know, kind of bring their state up to the forefront. I mean, that's what it's about. It's representing your neck of the woods, you know.
Well, here's the piece, and this is what I loved about Softball Uncensored. And when I was drunk last Tuesday after the pod, and I was like, hey,
I don't believe it. Don't lie to us, man.
All right. When I was sober on a run after last pod, I was like, Evan, would you want to come on? You were just like, fucking yeah. I was like, what? Okay, cool. I don't look at us as shit. Like, I know we've grown a lot in the last 2 months, thanks to, you know, the mailman, Hardy Hartling, and getting us down to a major World Series. I know we've grown a lot from that. I know we've grown a lot because of Keith Bololi getting us to the PIF and introducing us to certain people and having interviews. I still look at us as a stupid little fucking podcast that we talk softball. This time of year, honestly, we have a prototype out there. It's called the Milking Glory. It's a milking table and a glory hole that is like portable. That's what we talk about. We talk about zombies and casual and like anonymous sex in the off season. But this year it's a little different. But people listen, and we have fun with it. And softball is a fun fucking sport. Well, we have fun fucking playing softball. We have fun and you want what this podcast is and what like Bring It has become. Go look at the TikTok when we got the cease and desist letter. You can look at the last live stream of our games when we were doing it. When I saw the what's it called? The letter from UTRIP, the cease and desist. You can look at that and just kind of see my face. You can go on our TikTok. It's the second TikTok on Bring It Pod. And it's me jumping on at like 10:45 at night, just fucking crushed because I
did see it. You were talking to yourself.
Yeah.
It was just you, right?
Yeah. It was just me.
I did see it. I saw
it's something that
you
do very well.
Saw Bring It. Someone was like, you got to look at this. And I was like, this dude, like he's about to commit suicide here. He's having a coming to moment right here.
I was crying. Like, I'm an emotional fuck to begin with. I don't give a fuck. I'm a 42-year-old man, 350-pound man. Like, I'm an emotional bastard. And I don't give a fuck. I've talked about mental health on here, how bad I struggle with mental health, how important I think it is, and everything else. But like, when we couldn't, excuse me, I apologize. Like, it's a we. Like, when we couldn't broadcast the people that are going down and playing at the conference level, when we couldn't go down and broadcast C Worlds, D Worlds, E Worlds, the people from our area going and playing at a national level in different tournaments, and because I understand why it's a business, that hurt me. Like, that hurt us. Like, it's not we don't make fucking money.
And it didn't hurt us monetarily.
No.
There's no money involved.
No, it hurt me, like, personally. Like, I enjoy. You heard me on the World Series. How much I just enjoy broadcasting. Heaven, I love fucking Molly Hamill of Bololi, Sam Cloutier, watching fucking Dustin at the duel, getting ingrained with this chaos team because of Tab and Alyssa Derrick, rookie of the year of the conference. No big deal at the women's level. Like, proposing to Sasha Killings, canceling my plans on a night to watch Chaos win the women's AA. Like, that's what I love. I love that. I love bringing attention to different parts of this game. We're not trying to make money. Listen, if somebody, like I said at the beginning of this, if somebody wants to pay us, if somebody wants to pay you $50,000 to stop our fucking jobs and do this full time, awesome. I want to promote that'd be fucking cool. I want to promote the fuck. Like, what got me horny about you was the fact that you started as a local group. You're us. You're us. we're doing this on a podcast, having bullshit. You started as a podcast and you blew the fuck up because of, you know, the people you're knowing and the shit you're putting out there too. What we're doing, it's a fucking stupid fucking hobby. And it's passionate. I am passionate about this fucking thing. I just went back. I want my ability to stream our people that are doing well. And give me a fucking code. I don't give a fuck what you want. Like, give me a code. Let me promote the people from our area to do well. Like,
yeah, especially since you didn't make money off of it. I think it's kind of odd that, I mean, you're essentially, it's not like you streamed it and sold it or streamed it and tried to make money. You were essentially just trying to bring more attention to USSSA. Now, obviously, you know, there's more to it. Like, they have a contract down there. They have to meet with that stadium build, and it's a cash grab right now. I hate to say it. I mean, you have to pay before you walk in the door.
Where's your hold on. Where's that? Let me go back to a certain post I saw somewhere where I saw some compensation of certain people where what we're doing
players.
Nah, not players, maybe people.
That's that picture's in our chat, J-Rob.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Maybe I won't share it, but like,
it's public. It's public knowledge.
It is public knowledge. Yeah. But like, you're telling me the fact that, like, you know, I get that it's a business.
But here's the thing before you get into that. Hold on, J-Rob. Yeah, if you were to say to people, you guys got to give me $10-15 to restream your games, and you have to send that to fucking UTrip, they're paying it. People are paying it.
It's free it's cheap marketing. I mean,
I don't know why.
Dude, 18 years old.
I don't know why they wouldn't tell you that. You got to give us $30 or $100 a tournament or $150 a tournament. You could stream. Teams are gonna pay it.
Yeah.
Can you not throw those big numbers?
I don't know what they charge.
T-shirts.
It's like
T-shirt.
They charge the photographers to take pictures at tournaments.
Right.
Like, that's bullshit.
Yeah. My thing was, I'm not like we said, we're not making money. It's because it
can't go live on your phone while you're down there either.
Nope.
No, you can't do shit. Like, I understand it's a business, but at the same point, like, I had people messaging me after we had that cease and desist saying, I subscribe to USSSAlive.com. And I still watch you. And I'm never subscribing to USSSA.live.com, and I'm never watching it. I only watch it through you. It's both ends. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm streaming it or not. Sure. My best fucking friend said, I love you. I'm not supporting you on that platform, regardless.
Yeah.
And listen, you can go back through some interviews, like with Lori of the Massachusetts Women's State Director. You can go back through, you know, Alyssa Derrick, Tab Hebert, Maddie Ratty of Chaos, and these other women. And even, you know, I go back to Hickey, but like, I go back to a lot of the women's game is where I'm really like, how do we promote this? How do we continue to grow the women's game? Because it's smaller. And there's a lot of great women's player out there. Fuck the fast pitch game on the pro level. How do we promote the slow pitch game? Well, it's like what you guys are doing are fucking awesome. We have people that played in the 90s, early 2000s, before we started this, being like, yo, you guys showing up to tournaments and broadcasting this bullshit is fucking awesome. Like, big sponsors. Joel with Chosen, you know, teams that maybe you don't know, but Joel with Chosen and Keep Lowly. We have, you know, All American, Jimmy Thurman with All American, with Resmondo, being like, what you guys are doing are fucking awesome. You know, Mike Manning, fucking all these guys, Rob Pereira of PF, like, thinking about all these guys that are big sponsors, at least in our area nationally, being like, you're promoting the fucking game, and then
it's
$10 a stream.
Yeah, it's kind of whack. I mean, true story. Give you a quick little background. 18 years old, my very first arrest. I was bootlegging CDs and DVDs, man. bootlegging CDs and DVDs back in the day. Like back when CDs were still being sold at record stores and stuff, we'd sell them for like $5, 3 for $10, movies, all that stuff. But so bootlegging is all that. I understand the criminal aspect of that. You're making money off of it. But when you're essentially like, if I just started making videos about how you should go shop at Target and show videos of me in Target and how great their clothes are, what as an example, you think Target's going to go, man, this guy's sending us customers, we should probably tell him to stop? Probably not.
Yeah, and I mean,
that's not good business.
The entire time that we would restream these games, we would say, hey, go get a subscription. You can find more games than just this one at this. It's just I get that they have to do it. At the end of the day, they have to do it. It's a legal thing. Because if they let one person do it, they have to let everybody do it. Or
right.
It's just it's a slippery slope situation. But
I mean, I could see the negatives in it. Like maybe, again, we're on the low end of the totem pole of USSSA. I mean, you got baseball and fast pitch and things like that. So when people could start streaming other teams and using it for scouting reports and things like that, then I could kind of see that aspect of it. But bro, we're not
heaven.
We're not them.
Who's fucking watching? Who's watching fucking the team you're playing in B Worlds? Hey, let's check in to bring it and let's see what they're. No, you're not doing that. Like,
well, maybe. I mean, the more we promote our local teams,
what it is,
right? If there was a regionalized different things that showed these games, I would go back and watch some of these games of random teams that I'm in the division of. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see what's going on around. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you?
You know what it was? It was Alyssa Derrick and Anna Schultzer and Shelby Morose of Chaos AA, women's AA. If you couldn't tell by the fucking names, but it was like women like that. Alyssa Derrick's mother used to watch us all the time for the streams because it was easy. Molly Hamill, her mother, watched us on streams because it was easy for her to find her daughter play whatever she was.
But they didn't watch the streams to watch softball. They watched the streams to watch softball and to hear you commentate.
Entertainment. Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then Molly Hamill's mother turned into a Tuesday night one night and lasted 5 minutes. And I was like, ooh, this isn't for me. I'm like, yeah, we were probably talking glory holes.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah. But like, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to be able next week. There's cross promotion. Hit and Sit will be back next week. I won't be able to host it because I'm going to be in Germany. I haven't DW texted me earlier today, and I was on the phone until we broadcast. But like, I don't know. Like, I love the U trip, but like, it's sad.
I think DW are going to come for it.
I do need to shout out DW. Oh, sorry, I cut you out. I'm sorry, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. All I was saying was what he did at Worlds was good for him in the podcast.
100%.
What DW does is awesome.
Well, DW, I first saw him on YouTube, and it was I think it was SW58 or 48, whatever his YouTube name was. Yeah. That's where I started seeing the commentating. Now, as the CEO of Softball Uncensored, it wouldn't be me if I didn't say this, but DW sounds like Ben Stein to me.
Yeah,
his love for the game goes without question, because anybody who commits this kind of time to it, and he does the hit and sit. He just kind of. I've had back and forth with DW and commentary with because he runs the Old Scout message board. I've had back and forth with him before on my page, and I said at one point I said that's why I don't like the Old Scout, is because you can hide behind a fake name. Here at Softball Uncensored, you got a Facebook profile. You want to say it, you can put a name to it. And we kind of went back and forth a little bit, but I mean he's still in the group, and I think what he's brought to the attention to the conference. I don't think anybody was willing to do what he's done.
He might like softball more than every single one of us sitting in this podcast.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Combined.
I mean,
I will.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will tell you what.
He probably was the originator of it all. I mean, if you really think about it,
he probably was.
Especially for what we're doing. I mean, we're kind of like with the old scout and then with the videos as well. Like exactly.
That's another guy that'd be fun to get on here and listen to. Like he started getting to tournaments and doing the tournament reports and the all tournament and the write up. Like he doesn't even do the write ups anymore because he doesn't have time.
Right.
His tournament write ups used to be the best.
I tell you what, we just need to move. We just need to move it to a night other than Tuesdays. Tuesdays, the only reason DW hasn't joined us here on the podcast, DW has been invited. He knows us obviously, but not only obviously, it's just because I've been down there. But like DW has something every Tuesday night, so he can't join us. We might have to do something that's a little different on Tuesday night.
Just kidding.
What's that?
He's going to the Elks Lounge or bingo on Tuesday night. What is he doing?
No, he has a NASCAR thing.
I wasn't gonna fucking tell him.
No. He
NASCAR.
Yeah, big
NASCAR. Yeah, he does a fucking NASCAR every Tuesday night. He's missed it 9 times, I think, in like 6 years. Like that's his thing. He does these races, and like I love that for him because tonight, heaven. I'm a big drag queen guy. I love drag. There's a big drag queen show down in Boston tonight. It's Jinx, Monsoon, and De La Creme. I missed it tonight. My wife has given up a lot.
You shitting me right now?
I love drag queens.
I didn't think he named you Heaven.
And you haven't watched the Jamie Neal interview yet? What are you waiting
on?
No,
I trust me. I've wanted to watch it. I wanted to watch it over the weekend, family shit, and I wanted to watch it yesterday. Work's been a bitch. So, and then family stuff happened, but this shit's done because of love. Like it's the same stuff. We're all the same, and I think people realize that, and that's why we're in lawsuits and cease and desist. I just think you're above us because you're in a lawsuit. We just got cease and desist, so it's a little different.
Nah, man, I'm not above anybody, man. I
don't give a fuck. Like you said, it's not a fucking ego thing. It's bring us all together and having fun, and like it's a stupid hobby.
I was motivated though. When I was doing the interviews for my personal page, I know you saw the guy that hit the 117 on the radar the other day, supposedly.
Mm-hmm. Who was that?
Give or take.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. No problem. No offense to him. He just went up there and hit. So he didn't set up the rally. That's another story. But I interviewed him from my personal page before I had the group, and there was we'll call it a BSC softball page. It was called Us Entertainment, and they were at I think they're at 7,000 followers. And I got in there, and it was the same idea. Like they had same softball stuff. Well, I put that video in there to promote him. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is a BSC guy playing here. I just posted it so people could watch it who didn't get to watch it. And the admin of that page got, I don't want to say offended, but he got upset. He felt like I was promoting my own thing. I had an ASP banner made behind me from a guy that repped ASP. I got nothing free from ASP. I just looked cool behind me. Like right now you got pictures of my kids, but I had a banner that was behind me to kind of give it a little, little jazz, and they got upset and said that I needed to pay him to post this video on this page and all this shit. And I was like, you know what? And I had several people reach out to me. It's like, man, it's fucked up. They should have let you post that video. So you know what? Fuck this, man. I'm gonna make my own damn page, and I'm gonna fucking build my own shit, and we'll just fucking do it the way, and it'll be like this. It'll be authentic. I'm just gonna give places for players to come and talk softball anytime they want to, and that's what it is. It's for that, for the love of the game. And
you want to talk about BSC? I'm gonna kind of go off fucking topic, not off topic, but off color, I guess. And this all goes back to the BSC. I guess this is where we're going to kind of fucking go our spot because we weren't going 3 hours tonight, but we're at 3 hours again for the third week in a row. I was in Birmingham. For a New Year's Eve. My wife and I used to go away every New Year's Eve when I was still in hockey because of, you get away, have some fun. We went to Birmingham because of a Marriott email. we were on a bar crawl. We were going to the typical bar crawl, bars. And there was one with a big ass line. And we were like, fuck this. We passed a bar before. And it was a BSC bar. We'll just call it that, to be remain political correct. It was It was a black bar. It was a black only bar. Or not black only, but it was a black bar. And the doorman was like, it's $20. I'm like, I don't pay covers. I don't wait in lines. I don't like this. It's just my own thing. I'm like, all right, we're bouncing. He's like, are you part of the bar crawl? I said, yeah. So he was like, all right, come on in. I think it was like we ended up paying $5 each. So it was $10. We had the night of our life. We sat next to somebody that looked like she was 22 years old. She was a 45-year-old woman with a bunch of with a daughter that was like 20 years old. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, black don't crack is a fucking real thing. She looked amazing. We had the best night of our fucking life. Like, we had an absolute blast. And I'm only saying this because we're people in the Northeast. I don't know how much you know New England. You ever
Not
go
much.
to the you ever go to the bread aisle of your grocery store, maybe your Publix, maybe your Piggly Wiggly, and it's it's a lot of white bread, right? Well, that's what the Northeast is. And I gotta tell you, it was fucking amazing because it's nice to get out of our environment and enjoy like, that's why Amanda and I, my wife and I, want to fucking leave the Northeast. We want diversity. We want different viewpoints. We want to have some fun with somebody that's not just. That's why I'm jealous of somebody like you live in Atlanta, where there is that. It's not a parochial, whatever. I'm getting political and religious, but like, whatever. It's not a parochial. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I see you fucking D-Money fucking fading on me.
I don't know what you're talking. Yeah, you're just like, we're just going on.
I don't know where this is going, but like, man, like, get out. Here's the thing. Get out, experience different shit. Live it. Don't live in your fucking bubble and have some fucking fun with life. Like, that Birmingham New Year's Eve, Amanda and I still talk about, is the most fun New Year's Eve we've ever had. And we went to like 10 different cities before we stopped that shit. And it was a fucking best because you just take a different experience.
That's the one thing in the Northeast about softball. We don't have that diversity of every other place in the country that has the BSC tournaments, the WSL, the Indian shit. We don't have that in the Northeast. So like, to get down to just being down here for 6 months, it's softball is different. It's an eye opening.
It's year round too. And the South softball's year round. What's the softball for Northern states? Like, what months?
Done. It's done in November.
You want to play indoor? You're indoor right now until
Saturday.
Probably till March.
Late March.
Is there a lot of indoor tournaments?
Yeah, but it's a rag ball and it's shitty.
Not all of it. No, we're moving to, some of it is like wood bat ASA balls.
Trash. Not interested.
Yeah, I made a mistake when I signed up.
I love wood bat.
But it's all overnight. It starts at like, I know in Connecticut, it's all midnight until 7 in the morning. It's awful.
That sucks.
Yeah, that sounds
9:45 a.m. start on Saturday. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we don't have that. When I was in Connecticut, we started at midnight.
Like,
that, I think it's making a change now that the domes are coming and are more of a play now. It's getting better, but it's not great.
Yeah.
What there is another. You asked me about a U-Trip change about the elite tag. You were talking about women's softball. I can give you a little 411 on a change in the women's game for conference next year.
Fuck, I was just gonna run to piss, but go ahead. I want to hear this. This is a women's rule.
You can go PP.
No, go ahead. I'm good.
So they are supposedly making the women's ball harder and making a pro-am hardcore women's ball.
I saw that today. I was on Direct Sports looking to buy some balls, and I saw the women's hardcore ball on there today.
Yeah, they. I don't know. Jamie Neal's not playing anymore, but I would feel that'd be an advantage for her again. Hitting an even harder ball. But what do I know?
I was going to ask you, think a trans woman would hit this harder ball better?
Yeah.
There was a couple. We were on a time crunch with that interview. I hate bringing up that one constantly. I've done several interviews on there, but that is the most recent one. But there was a lot of things that I wanted to piggyback on other questions, but she put us on a time crunch because she had to go get dinner. But she said if she wasn't playing women's ball, she would probably be playing B or A in men's.
No shot.
And I said, not with 4 home runs of the women ball, there's no way.
I've seen her play.
4 home runs?
No.
Nah, dude, you got to be. If I'm playing with a women's ball, I'm home run champ. You better fucking believe that.
E would be that class. E would be the class that she would be playing in.
Yeah, one of the major. Yeah, one of the biggest things I've seen between the men's game and the women's game is just the speed of the running. Even like slow guys would sometimes beat out balls in the women's game. You know what I mean? It's just it's a slower game in general.
Well, here we go. We got a quick MFK for you. Coco, what do you have?
All right, it's not slow.
We have a Mary fuck kill for every guest now. So MFK here we go. Coco, this is where Coco chimes in.
This is why I was sharing Marge Simpson. So the MFK, it's Marge Simpson.
Jesus,
it is
weird.
Lois Griffin. And it's Wilma Flintstone.
Oh,
tough one.
Coco, you stepped up your game after last week.
Thank you.
God.
Thanks.
Heaven.
I'll start if you want.
No, Heaven, because we'll let Heaven. We're gonna do Heaven.
Can you keep rotating?
Can I see the pictures again?
Absolutely.
Just keep rotating through them.
I gave you Marge.
Marge is looking good with that hair down. I'm not gonna lie, man.
But look at what Lois is packing.
I see. I'm an ass man, so I don't know.
Oh, you would have. I wish I'd had Mrs. Incredible for you then.
Damn, this is rough.
Hey, hold on, Heaven. I got something for you. Let me just pull this one up real quick. We're working on some stuff here at the podcast. We're always making.
I see what when you guys are spending alone time with that Vaseline from college. I see what type of selections we're choosing on Pornhub.
This is not Simpsons canon right here.
No, I don't think so. And
I also love this. Computer. Hickey is pissed, and he's saying he got screwed last week. I love it. I also love that he's still here. Yo, listen. This is Oh, where'd you go, Coco?
Why are we getting keep flowing through them, Coco?
I was letting you go. I
had to get a sexy
I got mine. I think I got mine.
Heaven, what do you got? Coco, put your shit up.
Marge is cute as she is right here, man. The voice gives me old grandma vibes. I've watched.
Yep.
I'd probably go with the kill on Marge Simpson.
Okay.
She's banging Homer for crying out loud, you know.
But here's the thing: she is banging Homer, and you don't have to hold her head back if she ever gives you head while you're married.
Man,
but she's also going to knock you out.
Marge is out for me.
This is tough, man.
Who's not marrying?
Is
Lois?
it?
I'm not.
Wow. There you go. Mm-hmm. And my early day recon, people were not marrying Lois either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's an hourglass.
Heaven.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. We're looking at the
so we're killing Marge. Who are you marrying? Who are you fucking?
I'm marrying Lois.
Marrying Lois, and we're fucking Wilma.
Wilma can get it, man. I'm marrying Lois. Lois is gonna hold the house down, man.
Are you saying
she's gonna keep the house in order?
What? Yeah, that's what you're fucking. That's what is like. That's your fuck. What the
that's
fuck?
It.
That's your. That's your deciding
while
factor.
I'm playing softball on Saturdays, Lois is keeping the house in order.
You're going the wrong way. There's no fucking shot. Lois is keeping.
I know.
She's gonna have the fucking. She's gonna have the UPS guy in the garage making an OnlyFans video.
No,
it's okay. I'm okay.
I'm also into that cuckolding shit. So Lois is my fucking play.
No, Wilma's definitely getting the D, bro.
You're gonna let the bed rock.
Yeah, 100%. It's authentic. You're doing it on a stone bed. There's no give. You know,
how
it's
How bad is it down there?
Heaven, Heaven, I got a question. Evan, I got a question for you.
You heard of the Sasquatch soap? That's authentic soap, man. They're cleaning that shit.
What kind of kinks are we into that you're not into a stone bed? Like, are you a vanilla type of guy? Like, what's going on? Is this where we change the?
I'm just saying that sometimes you remember like, can you imagine growing up in the 70s and the 80s, like as an adult and doing it on a waterbed?
Yeah, I did in the early fucking 2000s.
That
it was amazing.
sucks, bro. No, dude, that sucks.
Hold on for dear life.
Yeah, nah, it sucks, man. I don't give me some authentic right there. Wilma can get it. She's got a nice body, and she's probably got a very, very hairy bush down there because I don't believe they were shaving back then. So I'll have to deal with it. But
my guy. All right, so we're marrying Lois, we're fucking Wilma, and we're killing Marge.
Yeah, 100%.
I had the same thing.
Picks.
Heaven. You got a new nickname. You forever be known as Heaven from Softball Uncensored because you've created a place that is uncensored and you bring just straight fucking news. I love the fact that you are, not only are you bringing rumors to the page into the softball community, you're fact checking them as well. Like, it's not like you're just throwing shit out there. Also, it's fucked up. You fit up with this fucked up crew. Like, I don't know. That's more than anything. You're like you're Hickey. You fit in with these boys. Thanks so much for being on here for not a 3-hour podcast or 3 hours.
No, definitely not a 3-hour podcast.
No.
Appreciate it.
Heaven, have a great one. Good luck with the Bugs tomorrow. We'll catch up with you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you very much. In closing, one last thing. I know y'all are friends with Scott Hartling, and Scott Hartling and I were going back and forth about the hiding the fielder. Look out for a well-rested Scott Hartling in 2024, man. He had a lot of time to watch some softball this year. He should be good to go for some swings next year.
Now you're going to drop shit at the end here. Podcast, unbelievable.
Get me out of here. Well-rested Scott Hartling coming out.
I love it. Talk to you, baby.
Easy, Evan.
Appreciate it, guys.
Holy fuck, that was great. All right, it's fucking 11:15. Let's not.
Yeah, I thought we were just going to continue with the MFK with everyone here, but he got him out of here. Coco, bring him up again.
All right. I got it. All right.
I know what I'm doing.
Mailman.
I'm marrying Wilma.
Well, you might have to after fucking tonight with another 3-hour podcast.
And I'm killing fucking Marge. Can't do the voice.
So you're marrying Wilma.
Mm-hmm.
You're fucking Lois.
Mm-hmm.
And you're killing Marge.
Yeah, the voice got to go.
Coco.
I had the same as Heaven, Lois, Wilma, Marge.
D-Money.
I'm going to marry Lois. Okay. I'm going to fuck Marge. She's got blue hair. She got blue hair.
It's your first blue-haired woman?
She could be a little crazy.
I've never seen a blue duck before.
Oh, Dustin.
Could be a little crazy. She doesn't have to talk, right? We got one thing going on here. We got, I'm gonna kill Wilma. Maybe, you know what I mean? It's a tough call, but I was a big Family Guy guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're
not a big Flintstones guy. So
there was something during that Heavens during MFK that really hit me, where he was like, "I'm not gonna fuck Vilma on a rock bed," and that got me thinking. Like, if she's willing to fuck on a rock bed, look at those fucking curves. Ooh, who doesn't love a curvy woman? I don't care if you're $120 or if you're 320. If you're a curvy woman, I'm loving you. It's kind of between like Wilma and Marge at this point. Who's the kinkier of the two? I do feel like Marge is probably just a vanilla lay, even with that big hair.
Oh, you think so?
She's hiding something.
Yeah, I think she's probably just a vanilla. Wilma, I am marrying just because if she's used to fucking cleaning up dino shit.
Now, are you marrying her in her time?
Yeah, because how come?
You know what I mean?
I don't think she's coming to my house.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's really between Wilma and Lois. Because Lois, I've definitely jerked off to in some anime porn back in the day. I've definitely come to Lois. I've never come to Wilma.
Your Pornhub algorithm must be wild.
You should see it. Jesus Christ, back in the day, like if I'm going off of who I've jerked off to, I'm marrying Lois, I'm fucking Wilma, or I'm fucking Marge, and I'm killing Wilma.
Okay.
Marrying Wilma because I can fucking slap her around a bit, and she's definitely gonna choke the shit out of me. Lois is gonna be one of those naughty little, like, I'm dressing up for you. You may be able to tie me up with scarves a little bit. And then Marge is the fucking yeah, because like Wilma's gonna tie me up, like she's gonna knock me out and fuck me with a fucking.
It was super cold out. Let's take the scarf off and just tie each other up. What?
I feel like Lois I'm more sexually attracted to than Marge, but I feel like Marge could have some like domination in her, which really could get me off as well. We could have like a nice like hot wife situation here.
She's a free spirit.
Yeah, but it's like who's like Marge isn't necessarily like I don't know if Marge is an open relationship kind of woman. So we're marrying Wilma. We're fucking now. Are we still
all these women are married in their cartoon lots? They're all married to other people.
It doesn't matter where I am in the situation. I could be in the chair in the corner, jerking off, crying, taking the video and posting it on Pornhub, which I feel like with Wilma that is the case. I feel like with Wilma, we're going to have an ability to make money on OnlyFans as well as have a great sex life. She's going to do very well with my kids. Meanwhile, Lois is going to be... Lois, I'm worried about, like, she might fuck around on me outside of our rules we've established in our height-wife relationship, where Marge is the wild card out of all three, but I'm going to kill her anyway.
Okay. All right.
That was fantastic.
Good hour-long one there, boys.
See you, boys.
That was great 3 hours.
3:20. Good night.
See.
Oh, my.